And he's gonna come and say, well, look, you've been gone, 12 hours is enough. It's time to bring your ass home. And she was like, I'm not coming. And she gonna try to fight and all this shit. But guess what she ended up doing? I'll be there tomorrow. And then they talk that shit the fuck out. And after they talk it out, they get ready for whatever else. The problem is that some people got egos in the way. They get into an argument, ain't nobody paying bills. Motherfuckers is out here, they're not doing what they supposed to do in the house and all these different things because they don't know how to love a person while they have disdain for what it is that they're doing. They put them on a pedestal. Can't keep putting your mate on a goddamn pedestal.
I know that's right. Let me read Alexander's comment. He said, my granny threw the open loaf of bread at Paw Paw. LOL. Nobody picked it up until a time later. Then they've been together over 40, 50 years. You see, that was just a loaf of bread back then, but we picking up much more serious shit nowadays. And we're picking up things and we're doing things that we can't come back of just because we're in the heat of the moment. Yeah. And that's what I'm trying to show people. We got to be able to argue fairly and not dirty, because you can risk your freedom, your family, your finances. I mean, is it really worth it? Okay, I fucked up. I burnt the meatloaf. Okay, then I know what I got. You know how I'll fix that problem if I burnt dinner? I'll go get dinner for us. We still got to eat. But to argue there for 2 hours because I burnt the meatloaf is like, come on, is it really that serious? We could have ate, watched the game, and made love instead of arguing about how I put the temperature up too high. I'm on my phone and wasn't paying attention, and okay, I'm human. I make mistakes. But we don't look at it that way.
But it can be a little bit more serious than that. It can be something like, why you told your friend what the fuck was going on between me and you?
That's another point.
Right? So once you start having that, once you have that, how am I deal with it now? How am I gonna deal with it now? Do I just get upset because he got upset, or I get upset because she got upset? These are common arguments. Young couples. She ain't never stepped over that line like that. So how do he deal with that on telling her how that happened? You gotta deal with it.
Breach of confidence, man.
What, you gonna break up with her?
I think also too, I mean, and we've done a show on this a couple months ago, being able to effectively communicate, right? And I think that's where some of this fail, or I guess most of it fail, because if you don't effectively communicate or know how to communicate with your partner, or if y'all are not doing that with each other, then you're always going to run into problems. Look, I mean, even if you're effectively communicating with your partner, you can have arguments, but it could be respectful, right? It could be resolved, right? But once you're able to have effective communication with each other, and y'all understand each other like that, it should make things flow much smoother. But unfortunately, nowadays, there is no effective communication going on. And the other thing that I want to say is that what Grace touched on earlier, when it comes to texting, I fucking hate texting, especially when it comes to talking about something or discussing something important, right? Especially if you matter to me, you need to hear my voice. Either we're gonna talk on the phone, or we're gonna send voice messages, but you need to hear my voice, I need to hear your voice. So what we have nowadays is that so many people like to hide behind texting and they don't want to deal with the situation. They don't want to face
keyboard warriors.
They want to hide behind the text. And I see it all the time. And I land my plane.
Black man.
All right, BMU, you up next. Drop them gems. What say you? Well, of course, tell people where we can find you, because I'm over here trying to create a buffet so we can all eat. Okay? I mean, some will be at the kiddie table, but we still at the table. Okay? Where can we find you, BMU? And what say you on the topic for tonight?
Absolutely.
You can find me on the Black Men Unfiltered Network. You see these gentlemen on this panel tonight. All of them share in that network. So I appreciate them. JT on Wednesday. Trey Ferg has a sports show on Wednesday as well. My boy Lost in Translation, he co-hosts with me on Tuesday on Flipping Tables. So we're on 7 days a week, ladies and gentlemen. Just come over to Black Men Unfiltered Network. We rocking our shows every day. I want to say something about the meatloaf first. Sometimes we have to be careful about the burnt meatloaf, because the burnt meatloaf is the GPS to what the real problem is. A lot of people, frustration is in what they see now, and they don't address what happened then. So the anger of the meatloaf may be the problem of something he has with you. He may have something you did earlier in the week that pissed him off. He held it in. He preserved that. But the meatloaf was the breaking point. So sometimes items and things can be breaking points. And so we're as spouses and as in being in relationships, we concentrate on he's mad at the meatloaf, but we're not concentrating on that ain't the meatloaf.
That's a good point.
The meatloaf was the breaking point. We also have to understand that our mouths, especially our young women today, your mouths are the elevators that push your men into the comfort of other women. Let me say it again, because I'm gonna be real today. That mouth who says, you can have a woman saying, we know what it is, we can be unfiltered here. You most black men here, you bitch ass nigga. You ain't shit, you have no value. I don't need no man. Fuck you. You can get up out this house. You don't do nothing, no way. You ain't this. And then that man goes to work, and that woman at work says, good morning, King. You look amazing today. You smell awesome. That's going to bother him, because when he gets home, he knows that when he gets home, he's going to get everything but the right thing, right? A woman wants everything these days. Those women are being cruel to their men. They want everything, but they don't want to do nothing. But guess what? I don't need you. You can get out. I don't want to be married to you. I don't want to be in a relationship with you anymore. And guess what happens? When that young lady comes along, she looks a little bit better, a little bit more perky than you. Body's a little bit more banging than yours. And then you start paying attention to her. And guess what happens? Oh, and all of a sudden, I'm a different woman now. I love the Lord. He heard my cry, pity. Oh my God, you're everything to me. It's a shame how some women will drag a man and beat him to death. And as soon as another woman breathes life into him, they come take credit for it.
Damn.
There comes the work wife.
The work wife. And we have to be mindful of what the work wife is. I believe, and from a biblical perspective, because I like to use that because I come from that. In the Bible, it teaches us that we need to be in peace. We need to have peace. The Bible says that it is better for a man to sleep on the roof of his house than inside the house with a quarrelsome woman. A quarrelsome woman is like the constant dripping of rain off of the roof of a house. She's annoying. You know, that's why you see all these men today who are married and they look like they're 70 and their wives are 40, but they're both 40. Because she's draining him. The Bible says a quarrelsome woman, a woman who is fierce with her tongue, is cancer to her husband's bones. But a good woman, a wholesome woman, is a crown to his head. The man can walk up. What does that mean? I'm glad you asked. The man can walk with pride. He can walk with that crown on his head, knowing when I walk up out this house, I know who I'm working for. I know who I'm coming back home to. I know this woman's going to nurture my children. She's going to give me all of her. She's going to follow me and not try to block me. A lot of women are suppressing their men. A man can't be what God wants him to be because the wife wants him to be what she wants him to be. Blocks him from what God wants him to be. I rest my case. Oh, sorry. I have one more thing. So we're dealing with these mental illnesses today because that's all they are. Women who want to be with a man, but really, do you really want to be with him? And then you go to your friends. And then I heard a woman say the other day in my family said, I don't need therapy. I got this. I said, so you're going to trust you to get you out of what you got you into. Good luck.
Mm.
That's why you on baby number 3 with 3 baby daddies, because you're trusting you to get you out of what you got you into, and what you got into was another man's bed, another man's bed, another man's bed, another man's bed. You need therapy. There's a mental illness. I rest my case on that.
Thank you for that, BMU. That again, dropping gems. Smitty, my twin, how you doing, my guy?
I feel awesome. I feel real good. How you feel,
Good,
Sean? How's
good.
everything?
Good. So, as usual, let people know where we can find you, and then let's go ahead and jump into the top. I ain't even getting to the info. I knew this was gonna be a good show. I got my little index cards here ready to go, and I ain't even touch on them yet because you guys are touching almost on everything already. So, Smitty, where can we find you? Say what you have to say about the show. Then we're gonna go to fam, and then I want to address this comment that I have up here. I'm leaving it up here because it was a gentleman that put this comment up here, and I need gentlemen to break this comment down, because I can't speak about men because I'm not a man. You know, the only way it can be best interpreted is coming from men. So let's go, Smitty. What say you?
Oh, well, one, of course, salute to the panel and all the gentlemen. Had a time second to listen for a little bit. Absolute jewels being dropped over here. You know, I think you need to go get a treasure chest, Gracie.
I know that's right.
So I'll start off with this. To my man JT, salute, bro. 2 things I heard you say. One about the 100%, leave a little leeway in case you're wrong. I was actually using this example earlier. I don't know Nair product. Like, let's take Lysol or Purell, for example. It says 99.9. They don't put 100. Why don't they put 100? You need at least that point, just in case something happens. You can't put on there 100%. And then if something goes wrong, you got a lawsuit. And so to what JT was saying, as far as leave just a little space for just in case you're wrong, I don't know. That just kind of came to mind, the whole Purell and Lysol thing. The second thing, right? All right, JT, you know I love you, big dog, but I got some pushback for you. You said woman will leave, go get a hotel. All that was great until you started talking about dad not being able to cook and shit. Now, as a chef, sir, I resent that. But also too, right? Also, don't we always say men are generally better single fathers?
They are. I mean, they are. They're the second one in line. It's 2-parent households and then single parents. You absolutely right.
So my point is, when it comes to the, I'm just being real with it. I don't really like that narrative. Kids, dad can't do this and that. Like, aren't we buffoons enough on TV and movies now? Aren't we always the damn idiot and the woman got to come save us and shit? I ain't with that. That's just that piece, right? But I mean, I do get what you're saying, though. I get the premise in what you're saying. I would just look at it as the kids will miss mom because they just miss their mother. It's like they would miss their dad, right? And then down to women who let her body go, brother unfiltered, brother black man, respect to you. What I would say to that is this. A woman who lets her body go and a man who lets his body go, generally speaking, the mind been gone, because the body does what the mind tells it. Generally, when you first notice a person is going through depression, their looks go down. Ain't shaving as much, they ain't combing their hair, whatever, the whole 9. So I would say to brothers who, because you're not wrong on anything you said, I just wanted to add a caveat. Women who, and men as well, anybody who lets themselves go after being in a relationship, the mind already left the relationship. You just weren't aware of it because their body is still physically present. But the mind been out of sight, out of mind. Last part to land it right here. So salute my brother from another mother. Going to you. Women who want a man with wrong intentions, like, when we say, oh, you just want the wedding, not the marriage and stuff like that. This is my thing with that, right? When it comes to women who like want to get into a relationship, but they don't have the right intentions, generally that's probably because that woman has never prepared, and or man, it can go for us too. That person has never prepared themselves for the day they get into a relationship. We got a saying, be ready so you don't have to get ready, right? Okay, so the thing is, like, for example, me, okay, I'm in a relationship now, been in one, like, I don't know, 5-6 months, something like that. I was prepping the shit out of myself beforehand. I was making sure all my ducks were in a row. I was making sure that my headspace was right. I even was making sure my physical was intact. I made sure my budget is right. I made sure all of these things were intact. That way, when I meet her, I don't got a whole bunch of cleaning up to do before she gets here. We already set to go. I just need you to walk through the door and take your shoes off, love. But with that being said, I digress. My mic is muted. Rock out.
Thank you for that, Smitty. Okay, Bess, we leave the last for Bess. Well, welcome, fam. I appreciate you coming. I know you were busy running errands, and it's all good.
Best for last.
Best for last. Okay, sorry. Let me take another sip of the I know you were running errands and handling some business, but you're still here, and that matters. What say you? Let people know where we can find you and what you have to say about the topic.
Yes, salute everybody on the panel, number one. Salute to Grace. Salute to everybody that's up here, man. All the brothers, you know what I mean? Smitty, World Translation, DMU, Uncle Fur, everybody, man. Salute to all y'all. You know what I'm saying? So, let me say this. Rich, just give me the topic just offhand, because I don't want to build off of anybody else. I want to build on my own. So.
Hold on, give me just a second. Let me put it up there for you. Hold on, right here. Embracing the art of arguing effectively.
Okay. So you mean like if you basically have a disagreement with someone, you kind of
just a disagreement, an argument, and it's not just romantic relationships, because we argue with everybody. We argue with co-workers, family, our kids, everybody. Just an overall general knowledge of how to do it properly and with proper etiquette. What do you think about that?
You can have disagreements without being disagreeable. You know what I'm saying? I think that's just the most effective way. Because at the end of the day, you actually want to try to keep as much relationships as you can, especially whether it's personal or business. You want to keep healthy relationships around, and you kind of want to beat out those that are not healthy and they're not healthy to you or the other person. So, and that takes you having open communication, transparency. But all these things are done with discernment. So you have to have discernment and you have to have love for the people that's around. You know what I mean? Understanding that, each relationship is different, each personality is different. How somebody communicates can be different from you, right? And their experience is not your experience. We live in America, so you can see one person, they look like they're from one place, and they could be somewhere completely different, right? They could be from Zimbabwe, they could be from Arizona, they could be from anywhere you could think of, because America is a place where everybody comes and lives, right? You know what I mean? It's basically like an open place for people to live and to work and to trade, and it's basically an open market, right? So with that being said, you have so many different traditions and customs coming in. Just because you see somebody of a person of color, you just can't automatically assume that they have the same experiences that you do. You know what I mean? Because they may not. You know what I mean? And they can even live in the same area, community as you, and they may have a completely different experience than you. So you always got to keep an open mind to that. And so when you get a disagreement, just always ask yourself, okay, in what ways could I have communicated more effectively? You know what I mean? Did I say something offensive? Did I approach them offensively? Was I offended by something they said? And why was I offended? You know what I mean? And just kind of taking the steps to, make sure that you're communicating everything needs to be said, and you just basically setting the boundaries, the parameters so that doesn't happen again. You don't want to keep having issues where you're just constantly going at it, because it just, you know what I mean, it's not beneficial. You know what I mean? It causes people just to, you know, not like each other after a while, and then you don't want to be around that person, they want to be around you. And now we have, you know, we have bad blood, which is something that's really a waste of time. You know what I mean? So all that negative energy and all those things that are there, you don't want to kind of, you know, give your energy to. You want to, you know, you want to be investing your energy into people, into things that are positive, and that's going to really help you to grow and be beneficial. You can help others to grow as well. So yeah, that's my take on it.
Okay, that was good. That was really good. But I mean, we're not going to get off topic, but I have to address this comment. I have a panel full of kings. I have kings in the chat, but you know, iron sharpens iron, and I can't sharpen a man's iron because I'm out of order. So whoever wants to jump on it first, I'm going to read it out loud, and I want you guys to think about it, because I think this needs to be discussed. Why the heck does a man have to have value? He ain't asking for anything, and he ain't bothering nobody. He all right with me. People are leeches. Who wants to jump on that first?
I'll go first. I think that real quick, I think that the value is subjective, because everybody sees the value that they want in you instead of the value that's in you. Let me say it again for the people in the back.
Yeah, say that again.
Some people want the value that they want to see in you instead of the value that you have in you. So that's when it becomes subjective, because you may have all the value in the world. You may get up every day, work. You may come home and take care of the bills. You take care of everything you need to take care of. You may drive a nice car that's suitable for you. But in another woman's eyes toward this man, he may not have value unless he drives a 2023 Bentley or a 2023 Wagoneer, or he has to be driving a BMW or a Mercedes. That her value is in material things that he does not possess, which makes him have less value in her eyes. But what is the real value? If a man's riding around in something that he can afford, I mean, he budgets great. That means if he's in a house that he can afford, that means he's living good. You can't base value on what a man can provide for you. You have to base value on what the man has provided for himself. So when you see what he has, and you know this man is growing, and he's growing financially, and he's growing to be the man that he needs to be. If he's in a 1-bedroom apartment and you really dig in him and you really know this is a great man, that 1-bedroom apartment wouldn't be a problem for you, because you know where you're going. You know where you're headed. You see this man is growing into that. So yes, value is subjective based on how women see a man's material thing. A man could have every piece of value and she will look past it because she wants him to have that BMW. And that's why most women today are pump and dumps, because they like to get fucked in the backseat of a BMW instead of going in the house and playing checkers with a man who drives a Ford Taurus. I rest my case, Sharon.
Facts. And again, these are gems. Men showing other men different perspectives. I just sit back and let it ride. I know when to sit on the sideline. I know when to shut the fuck up. I know. And then when y'all leave, I be talking again. Us too. But you see, I had to learn that. I was sassy with the mouth. Trust me, when I was younger, I wasn't like this. But age, maturity, experience teaches you or forces you to learn. Forces you to learn.
Less nagging and more.
And those were Grace's words.
I am so glad you did not clip. I'm still waiting for that shoe to drop. I know it's coming. I know, but I'm holding on to it. Anybody else want to chime in on that?
Yeah.
Because I think that's important. Go ahead, Smitty.
Because also just in under 60 seconds, when you was talking about the topic question too briefly, to have a disagreement effectively, one must first and foremost have something most people lack now and is becoming an endangered species, and that is called social skills. The person who loves to text instead of talk, the person who rather does virtual instead of in person and things of that nature, the less that you communicate in society, when that comes up, just like I said, get ready so you don't have to be ready, right? So my point is, I do believe that when it comes to the arguments, a lot of people are not effective with that because a lot of people don't want to have the deep, real, and hardcore discussions. You got to start that out from the gate. You can't go in there faking and just being like, we'll just wing it and see where it goes. Then when something pop up, both of y'all are ill-equipped. Now, to what PA says, salute PA. Thank you for the shirt, sir. Fits wonderful. Why does a man have to have his purpose? I'll make it very simple, at least in my view. The day I recognized my purpose was the day I opened up the GPS and I started my and I put in my starting route to chase my purpose. You see, point blank period, a man must definitely have value. So that way you have a trajectory in where your purpose may lie. You don't even know what your value is. How you know what you are possibly may be good at doing naturally or anything else? So that's why I would say a man should definitely recognize his value. So then you can start chasing the purpose. I digress. My mic is muted. Rock out.
Anybody else want to chime in on that comment?
Of course.
Yeah, I'll speak on this word, as I break it down, let's take the word value out of it. As a man, and it's hard being a man and you're not really getting information from man as you're growing up through your adolescence. But if you 21 and over, you're a man. I'll be chronologically aged, but sometimes your mental capacity is still struggling because you still sagging your pants off your butt. You still just don't want to throw on a button-down shirt. It's a lot of skills that a brother, and it's just based off that. But as far as if you look into, just self-preservation yourself, you really have to start stepping outside because the last part of that, what was the last part of that? Because the first part to me relates to the last part of that statement.
Hold on, let me find it real quick. Give me
You
just
said
a
people
second.
are leeches. Listen, if you're a young man and you hang around people that are leeches, that means if you looking to advance your life or step outside that, you have to separate from that for a little while, 6 months, 8 months, a year. Go change something up, man. Get them skills because you're going to need skills. You're going to need ability to adapt. You're going to be able to you're going to need patience, discipline, being accountable. I'm telling you, it's changing. So stop running around the people that everybody got a handout as people you've been knowing all your life. Get away from them people. Come back. If they pull their hands out empty, you pull your hands out empty. You don't have to go around flossing like you got money. Because we all broke out here. And women, that got to come back to us. Y'all just going to get worse. You got to come back to the man. Because brothers out here work.
Yeah.
We've been having a foot on them and top of that shit. So come on with us and so we can move the needle.
Now, brother Trey, let me say this to just add on to what you said real quick. Yes, we do have to have our women come back to us. That is amazing. I like that line. But we have to be selective. Men, we have to get to the point where we have zero tolerance for ignorance. We have zero tolerance for baby mamas. We have zero. Listen to me. Because a lot of women will get offended. Oh yes, they'll get offended. What you mean? Don't talk to a baby mama. The reason that you talk to a baby mama because this time that we're living in now, right before this show, I was having a shindig with my two brothers, Lost in Translation and JT. We were just sitting talking and having a good conversation before we came over to support you. And we had this thing that we're going to do a show on this on Tuesday on Flipping Tables. And there's something called parentage by estoppel. We're going to get deeper into it, but the surface level of that is if you meet a woman who has a child, even if you're dating that woman, legally, you have become the guardian of that child and has to take financial responsibility of that child. Even if you're dating her, not seriously dating, not engaged to be married, not married. If you're dating this woman, if you've gone on 5 or 6 dates with this woman and she has a child and you bought that child a toy, you are financially responsible for that child. This is what's coming down the pipeline. So we have to be careful on the old school way we do things, because that was amazing. But the new way, if all the 75, if we're looking at women now, 75% of all women are single mothers, and you're gonna hop into something and go on 5 dates with her and end up paying for a child that's not yours. I digress.
Anybody else want to chime in on this comment? Because I knew it was gonna bring up some good combo.
Grace,
Anybody else want to say anything?
Could you do me a favor and put the question back up? I want to make sure I answer this properly.
You muted.
Yes, sir.
Man, I think that young man has something to say about what I said. You muted.
Hold on a second. Let me find it. Hold on.
I want to make sure I
gotta go.
answer this question properly.
Yeah.
You know,
I get it.
But
I get it. Hold on. Here we go.
I don't want to leave
Show.
no stone unturned.
There you go.
He says, why the heck does a man have to have value? He ain't asking for anything and he ain't bothering nobody. He all right with me. People are leeches.
Take your time.
A lot of young men struggle with their purpose. And if you're listening to me right now, I'm going to help you find it. Whatever bothers you is your purpose. Whatever gets under your skin is your purpose.
Damn,
It's up to you to figure out how to solve that problem. Now, as far as helping other people and showing your value, don't look at it as an opportunity for people to use you. Look at it as an opportunity to learn from somebody. You know what I mean? You can't gain wisdom in a vacuum. I can't tell you how many times I've sat at tables I have no business being at. And I gained wisdom and knowledge from people just being of service, being in the presence of conversations of how other people move and how they conduct themselves and how they're useful to each other. You know, everybody has something special in them that the other people can use. You know what I mean? So that way you're valuable to the group. Everybody has something. It's just up to you to figure out exactly what that is. So my thing is this: make sure that when you're around other people, make sure that you add some type of value to their life, and automatically you're going to add value to your life because A, you're going to be gaining experience, B, you're going to be gaining wisdom, and C, you're going to be gaining connection. And networking is one of those things that is very underrated in our community that we don't talk about a lot. Your network is probably greater than your net worth. I'm here to tell you. I've been in situations where my network has saved me. You know, when I needed a job, I just tapped on the grapevine and said, hey, look, I'm looking for a job. And the grapevine come through, but you can't draw from that well if you hadn't put anything in there. So I would say this: try to help as many people as you can along the way. Sometimes you may not get a benefit from it right away, but the knowledge and wisdom that you gain from it is invaluable because you take that knowledge and wisdom and you add it to your toolbox. So the next time somebody else calls on you to be a subject matter expert, you'll be able to assist them and they'll remember and they'll refer you to somebody else. And then that way, as in Proverbs 31, it says, you'll be known in the gates. You see what I'm saying? You'll automatically have value because you've helped other people. So I'm going to say this: don't be afraid to be used. You know, a lot of people don't like to be used. Look at it this way: you're gaining knowledge and you're gaining wisdom along the way to be used. And not only that, while people like to think that they're going to live forever and be young forever, one day if you keep living, you're going to get old and you're going to need somebody. You know what I mean? I've seen it happen a lot of times where big, strong, burly men, you know, they want to say they're strong and burly, and all of a sudden, they got a nurse wiping them down at the hospital, man, on the way up out of here. You're going to need somebody. And it's just best that you be a gentleman about it along the way, because people remember how you treat them. They honestly do. So I hope that really answers your question, because I want to make sure I give you what you needed. Thank you, Grace.
Absolutely. Well, the gentleman that put the comment up, he's up here on the panel now. He wanted to explain his comment.
I can't tell, though, camouflage ass. How you blending with the background perfectly, PA?
So okay, so PA, go ahead. I mean, it was a good comment, and I know my family already, and I know they're gonna drop some gems on there. I hang with people that have the same mindset, whether it's female or male. I'm a little channel, and I got the heavy hitters here with me today. Why? Because they've embraced me and they believe in me, and I don't care if I only got 540 subscribers now that I'm counting, but I know that I'm gonna get there. I know that I'm gonna get there slowly but surely by being around the right people, by networking with the right people. And I've learned that on these YouTube streets, I rock with those who rock with me. I don't beg and I don't kiss ass. You know, and we can rock for 2 weeks or we can rock for 2 years. But as long as we rocking that boat, and if you become dead weight, you're gonna get off the boat. So go ahead, PA. Say what you have to say. I got other people trying to come up here, but I got a full panel. So I mean, it's all good. I'm loving it. But PA, go ahead. Say what you got to say.
Yeah, appreciate you having me on the show. Yeah, I wasn't gonna sit there and just make that comment and have people answer, and not, I'm gonna drop off after this. So by the way, because I got a show to make myself. But that's neither here nor there. Now, I wasn't saying that you shouldn't have value, or value is not a thing that I'm saying, why is that a requirement? Like, to have value as a man, because we do not have this requirement for women. She could come in with student debt, coke habit, and everything, and you got to fix all that. We don't say, oh, well, why does a woman have to have some type of value that's going to uplift a man? All we tell the women to do is just don't fuck up. That's it. We ain't we tell these men to build the generational wealth coming from the project, which is pretty much what I had to do. You know what I mean? But what if he came from the projects and he just found a way to live his little life? He ain't got much. He ain't have much to do. He hasn't built this big, this high, what we call any type of value that any other people appreciate. But he has value to where he's living, and especially if you're black, he's still breathing, and they ain't taking him to jail for nothing. I mean, why does that man have to have value? That's what I was thinking. Why does that man have to have value to be, any any place in this society? And that's why I'm just like, people are leeches. Oh, good. Go ahead.
People have to have value, women and men, right? The difference between men and women is that women have inherent value. Men have to build.
Women ain't got no damn inherent value. What do they inherit? That's value.
Beauty.
Man, these bitches is ugly.
Beauty. They have a vagina. That's
exactly.
And so
you want it.
3.5 billion of them. 3.5 billion of them. You gonna say that's worth something? I got a dig.
Hold on, brother. They have inherent value.
I got a dig. That's inherent value.
What we want from women is their inherent value. We want to make children, and in order for us to make children, we have to have a woman's womb, right?
They need my nut.
But in order for you to get that, you gotta have some type of built value. You don't. Let me tell you what I mean by this.
That's bullshit.
You got prostitutes, right?
And we got
you got prostitutes. The oldest occupation on earth. Who drives that?
Because the man had to pay the money first. The woman wasn't selling pussy. The man was buying first.
Listen.
So
but why are women selling pussy? It's supply and demand.
Yeah, well,
it is a value.
No,
it's economics.
No, my bad. I know economics. It's demand first, and then it's supply. It was demand, so a trick was first.
Listen to what I'm saying, bro.
That is this common sense. It's
listen to what I'm saying. Listen to what I'm saying. It's not even an argument. You don't have a bunch of goddamn men worldwide being goddamn prostitutes. Why? Because there's no value in dick. There's way more value in pussy than it is in dick, vagina than it is penis. That's why. It's inherent.
I will go with that.
So a woman's beauty. Men pick women based off of their beauty.
That's how women.
And they
think
still
love
have
men.
to have, and then they still have to be able to be submissive. They still have to be a woman to get along, a woman that could actually multiply with a man's needs and his ideologies and all these different things. It's inherent, the ones they have. We don't have anything inherent as far as comes down to value. Our value is how we build our life. Reason being is because we are the protectors and the providers of the earth. And if you can't fight, and if you can't make money, you are fucking worthless over here on this earth.
You definitely know how to fight.
JT, real quick. JT. My bad.
You have to be able to think in logic. You have to have linear thinking. All of these different things. God, man, women, child. That's why with us as men, we get blamed for all this shit.
Yeah,
because
we doing
we're
everything.
responsible for all this shit. Now it's up to us whether we want to have the attitude where this is what I'm responsible for, so this is how shit gonna go. We the ones to drop the ball on that.
Yeah. See, most
So
men
you
are
gotta
tricks.
have some type of value. You ever heard of the word incel?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you know what an incel is?
Mm-hmm.
Someone that is what? Involuntary celibate.
Mm-hmm.
And that's who? A fucking man. That's what it is, because he has lacked some
Now,
type
a
of
lot of women are
value in
involuntary
the
celibate
sex,
too.
in the market, in the what they call it, the sex market, or the relationship market, or whatever the fuck you want to call it.
Yeah.
So that's why we have to build ourselves.
If she's 40-something years old with 6 kids, sitting over there, and she ignorant as hell,
Mm-hmm.
well, she can't even get Pookie to poke, because that happens. She an incel too.
No, she's not an incel, bro.
She's an
She got
incel.
6 kids. How's she an incel?
It don't even matter. If she's doing all that, she need to be
so it has to
legit.
be a
Women on the
virgin.
same. You can't put women on the same plane as men. What I'm saying, you can't. Their value is inherited. Now, if they don't use it, that's on them. It's just like us. When we build our value, it's based off of what our utility is. It's
I got a
our
homeboy.
utility.
I got
Hey,
a
JT.
homeboy.
Yes, sir.
Just very briefly, this is going to be super quick, and then rock out, PA. I was hearing you say about the Johnson, and it's not valuable. All right, so I'll just say this, brother. Women can push them out. Women can have sex. The last time I checked, no human be on this planet if it wasn't for my sperm. So I don't really care too much about them having sex or what they can do with the cootie-tang. The fact is, I bring about life. Rock out.
Yeah, but she also harbors the life. You know, you need each other. So
There will be nothing to harvest if I don't ski.
It won't be nothing to harvest if she don't let you fuck.
There's something called an
need each
incubator.
other.
A man can actually have a child without a woman. A woman cannot do that. And that is a scientific fact.
Okay, but what I'm saying is this. When we start doing that, we stay separated from women. First and foremost, we got to keep in mind, women and men need each other. I don't know how this other shit gets lost. We gets lost in what? Translation.
Doggone right.
Men and women need each other. I'm not gonna grandstand over a goddamn woman at all. Now, what I can be though is what Black Man said earlier. I can be picky. I can be choosy. I can be the guy to say, no, I'm not gonna pick that woman right there. I'm gonna pick that woman right there. We don't do that. Guess what we do? We sit back because we horny. I'm just gonna give it to her. Just like you said, PA, 6 kids and all that shit. Motherfuckers is fucking them still. I do shows on this shit every fucking week. I don't give a damn what. She can be crazy out her damn mind, deranged and everything. She can sit back and tell you all the shit is wrong about her, and you still gonna have dudes sliding in her DMs. Because we keep succumbing to our, what is it? Lost when we
Carnal
succumb
nature.
to our desires, right?
Yes.
in our nature. That's why we get in trouble.
Generally, that's correct. Generally, that's correct. She can hit with some of these ladies, and especially she got some bread. She got 6 kids, but she done figured out how to get. She got figured out how to get $250,000 a year. And she was like, I ain't messing with no broke nigga no more. But that's all who gonna bone her. And if she's trying to sit there, if she gonna sit there and try to get somebody on her monetary level, she is gonna be a incel. You know what I mean? Because
she can't be an incel, bro. She can't be an incel, bro, because of that. Is that listen? You're not gonna have everybody being involuntary. Anybody would screw a woman, man. I'm telling you, the vagina. I know you don't want to, but you got to listen to me. I know you do not want to hear this, brother, but I'm telling you, the vagina to men is very valuable. It is very valuable.
Well, I ain't
we get it when we can get it.
I ain't no man then, because a vagina is something that bleeds, stinks, yeast infected, and used.
Yeah.
And
but listen,
3.5 billion people got
one.
Wow.
You know how beautiful that
billion got one. And you put value on that, you out of your
fellas,
mind.
I think we misunderstood the value. Why man has to have value.
You know how beautiful that shit is.
It's for other men, it ain't for the women.
I had some yesterday.
It's all day.
What?
You can do all this shit, but men still pay for it.
Yeah, that's tricks. That's the first profession. See, I ain't no trick. I had something yesterday, sitting over here, and I got video of it because I recorded it. And you know what I'm saying?
So you still abusing it, brother. You still abusing your value. See what I'm saying? You still abusing your value.
I deleted the video.
You ain't got to tell nobody.
I deleted the video. I don't show. It's not gonna be for public. That's for my consumption, just to know, you know. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. What I did over here.
But there's not gonna be no woman being incel. Do you know how hideous she got to be in order to be a incel? I just saw my 600-pound life. And let me tell you what this big 600-pound woman had. 3 kids.
Yeah. But see, I'm talking about. I ain't say invirgin. You didn't say invirgin. You said incel. Celibate is a period of time. And I'm gonna just say 6 months.
No, listen what I'm saying. The difference, that's what I'm saying. An incel is involuntarily celibate.
Yeah.
She wasn't.
Say virgin.
No, she wasn't. She had 3 children, small children.
Yeah, but were they, you know, did she have when she was 600? You know, I mean, we're talking about semantics here. Look, there are women who aren't having sex for years because they waiting on the right one. That's an incel.
That's not an incel.
That's
not an incel.
They should be in great shape,
bro. She's voluntarily being celibate.
Same thing. In shape.
A vow sale. Okay, we're gonna do a vow sale. Okay, vow sale. Okay, it's all incel to me. Because if you ain't going, if you ain't sitting out here putting that coochie out, why the hell you got one between your legs?
Well, the purpose, because I don't want to get off topic, the purpose was because of what my man Smitty was saying. I was just saying, at the end of the day, you got more men, I'm talking about by the droves, that are incels than you do women.
That is absolutely correct.
You already named. I don't care how you look at it. This is what we were just saying before. Men are not picky enough because women are getting penis, bro. All of them.
Nah, not all of them. Not all of them, man. I know some that ain't, but that's neither here nor there. Now, the thing, I got a homeboy named TJ, since we want to talk about exceptions. This dude is so gorgeous.
I didn't want to talk about exceptions. I was talking about the rule, not the exception. we gonna be all day. We gonna talk about exceptions.
Man, I done confused myself. But I got a homeboy named TJ that was born with his value. This dude looks so good to women, and I don't know, he looks like a regular dude to me, but that's neither here nor there. Everywhere we go, he drinks free. And the bartender is always, give me your Instagram, give me your phone number. You know, this drink, he just show up with drinks. He ain't even asked for them.
Is he the exception or is he the rule, bro?
That's the exception.
We got a nigga on the panel right now. If that's the case, shit, we got the light skinned. Hey, look, Trey Ferg, he can tell you, tall, light skinned, a job, all of that shit.
This is old. This is old Trey Ferg, but guess what?
Right.
Whether you light skinned, dark skinned, All of us are handsome as hell. I don't give a damn what nobody say. You better
But you still
own
gotta
your
have some
handsome.
value, right?
Shit, don't be mad because he gave me free drinks.
Right.
All of us would have been in the spot. Yeah, everybody getting free drinks. We all out here pretty with a stack of money. Come on, ladies. Don't come over here running like pickles. Back
But
up.
he's an exception. That's all I'm saying, bro.
Yeah, he is
He's
a
a-
very
he's an
exception. I've never seen it before. And he cool as he cool. You know what I'm saying? He's just a regular dude. He's just like, man, I'm so sick of this. I'm so sick of this. You know how like pretty girls talk about how they sick about being pretty? He be having the same conversation. The reason I brought that up is because
Your friend was a bad bitch.
yeah, he a bad bitch, man. He's still my partner. I could bring him on the show one day, but I ain't talked to him in a while. You know what I mean? I got his phone number. I'll hit him up, see what he doing. And guess what he do for a living? He's a bar back.
A what?
A bar back. He cleans up. You know what a bar back is, right?
Mm-mm.
So you know the person in the back of the bar that don't serve the drinks but picks up all of the plates and the glasses.
A busboy.
Bus boy, but we call them bar backs down here in Texas.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That's what he does.
He's working. He's
But
working.
I bet he gets a lot of tips and free drinks.
And dude, he's
Shout out
in
to the
there.
brother. He's working.
He always broke, and but he always got 3 or 4 girls running him up and down the street, just because he was born with value.
That's not value, bro.
Oh no,
It
no,
is
because
value.
if he had value, he would never be
Not
broke.
being no man. Not
He
being
would
no
never
man.
be broke.
PA, let me ask you a question. PA, let me ask you a question. When your friend talks to people, how does he talk to them?
You don't even say nothing to him. He just talks to him like we talking now.
Okay. That's the value right there. People, it's underrated, man. It's the same way if you find a woman who's very gracious, you know, and she may not be the most beautiful, but she could be very gracious, very accommodating, very pleasant. You know what I mean? Always looking out, you know, hey, how you doing? You know, speaking to you gracefully, you know what I mean? That type of thing. To me, that's the real value of a woman, because vagina comes standard issue on all models, but it's what you do with the other stuff that gives you value. You know what I'm saying? It's the way you preserve yourself, the way you carry yourself, the way you dress, the way you smile, the way you treat other people. That is the real value. And you know what the killing part about it is? Anybody can do that. But it's those who chose to do that are the ones who have successful relationships, or those who go farther on in life. Just like your friend. You know what I mean? You say he may be handsome, but I assure you he's nice to a lot of people. And guess what? As a result, a lot of people are nice to him. I assure you that's what it is. So whenever we talk about women, I like to focus on the women who are of the ones I talked about earlier, the ones who are nice, those who are kind. Those are the ones you want to focus with, because in racing, when you're racing, they tell you don't look at the wall because you'll hit the wall. What you want to do is you want to focus on your target, and your target should always be graceful women, because those are the women that you can build with. Those are the women who will look out for you. You see what I'm saying? Those are the women you won't mind looking out for. So those should be our targets, not the ones who are being sarcastic or snippy or snot. You know, let them do whatever they're going to do, because they're going to have to learn that on their own. But the ones who got it, they just got it. And those are the ones you probably should focus on.
Man, let me tell you, it's just, man, I don't know, man. Maybe my life is a little bit different, but I've built a lot of stuff. And I'm talking about stuff, huge stuff. I don't want to get into my personal thing, but
That's okay. Take your time.
That definition of high value, man, that Kevin Samuel talking about. I met that in my 20s, okay, and I'm almost 50, you know, but that's neither here nor there. Now, did I have employees in my 20s? Yeah, I did. Okay, anyway, that's neither here nor there. Okay, now, man, I've lost my point. See, I knew I was going to do that. Oh, yeah. See, so now, like, so when people go through, like, what? Oh, not my point. I know my point. I'm gonna tell you, I've lost that status either 2 or 3 times. I got to think about it again, because I mean, sometimes I wasn't even counting, but I lost that status 3 times in my book, but it might have been twice. I'm just going on what Kevin Samuel said is a high value man. You know, make 6 figures a year, have a network, be useful to yourself and others, all that silly, whatever. I don't know. That was his definition. Having a LinkedIn level, you know. Okay,
let me help you out. I was Kevin. Listen, let me help you out. I was Kevin's moderator for 3 years, so
gotcha.
I know the rules. So I understand where you're coming from, but go ahead.
Yeah. So so having that, you know, now I'm not trying to prove that I would never poo on, especially on a dead man, because people, especially a dead man who's given so much to the world as he has. I would never do that. But it's just things I disagree with, you know, that I just disagree with. And but I'm not disagreeing with him in my rant right here. The thing is that man, I lost my point again. Man. Let me stop right.
Take your time,
yeah. I've never been. I lost it 3 times, and all 3 times was because of a woman.
But you got to take some. Wait, PA. You have to take some accountability for that. You chose those women. You allowed that shit. You gotta take. Now I gotta stand up for the woman now. You can't just blame. Hold on. Let me speak. You know, it's just how I found out through therapy that the deterioration of my marriage wasn't just him. I had a lot to do with it too. So with that being said, the fact that you lost 3 times, you have to take accountability on the woman that you chose. A person can only do to you what you allow them to do. So when you started seeing the red flags, you still kept pushing. You knew something wasn't right. You knew something didn't feel right, and you still kept on for being a good guy, hoping she'll change, hoping things will get better, and they never did. But you can't, come on, PA, you can't sit up here because of a woman.
How's that my fault?
Because you chose the woman. You chose who you know.
Look,
if you had 3 of them that took from you, bro, it's just basic fractions. What's the common
You're the common denominator.
I'm over 3.
So let me ask you this question. I just got one question for you. Because I see a lot of people who, men or female, when they have this happen to them, did that in those moments, did any of them break your heart?
You say
that's a yes or no.
Out of them 3
that's
ladies?
a yes or no.
You say
did any of the ladies break your heart?
Yes, that's a yes question.
Okay,
that's a yes
okay.
Question.
So there it is, man. You gotta get that heartbreak out of you, and your blossom will come for.
Yeah, but I didn't know nothing about that then, man.
It doesn't matter, man. You seen
that's no bad. You should have vetted her better. You should have vetted her better. You should have asked better questions instead of her booty size and bra size. You should have had those real deep conversations. You know, I hate to hear, especially men, when they blame women for their downfall. And then women like me have to get penalized, you know, because they won't open up or they'll let their guard down because now you got a gem, but you're putting me in the same category of those straps. That's not fair to me because I'm one of the good ones. But I'm getting in the same penalty box because you had 3, you 0 for 3. What about you could have been 1 for 3 if you fuck with a woman like me, but you're not giving me the chance because you got it in your heart and your soul that women ain't shit, and the downfall of a man is because of a woman. You picked the woman.
Grace, have you ever been to Texas?
No, sir. I went once for a wedding, but it was just for a wedding. What does Texas have to do? There's women on the whole planet.
Dude, this is back in the day when you couldn't even really get to ladies out of town like that. You know what I mean?
If this was back in the day, why are you bringing this old shit up?
Well, because I wanted to say because my Pete, I forgot your name, the one that said the moderator,
Lost in translation.
Yeah, Lost in translation. The moderator for KS. He said, yeah, you have to build with a woman. I was just like, man, I've never built with a woman. I've built by myself. I've never built with a woman. Now I've built with women.
But what he was saying was,
I built with women around me.
But what he was saying is, You have to build with, when you have a relationship with a woman, you have to build that relationship with her. You can't build a relationship by yourself and then tell her to come on in. That's not how that goes.
So we were talking about building yourself.
I guarantee that's what he was saying.
But brother, I don't think you was trying to build. I think you was just really enjoying the moments that you had because you was building. You know what I'm saying? You still listen, and this is no dig, brother. I'm just saying, listen. You say this was years ago. I don't know how many years ago, but I'll say this. Even from then to now, let's think about it. Even from then to now, you just spoke about a little incident you had with your little video camera 2 days ago. You feel what I'm saying? You still playing those same type of games, so you still get the same type of result. You know, okay.
Go ahead, my bad.
No, I'm just saying, man.
This was 23 years ago. This is when I was trying to build.
And we're still bringing it up. No conflict resolution. It's still a thorn on your side. We gotta close that room and move on, because you may miss out on a great woman because you got iced around your heart. Let that shit melt, bro, because you're gonna die a very bitter, alone man, and you're too good of a man to be like that. You know? Okay, let's move on, guys. Let's move on. Let's stay on topic. I brought this comment up because I knew it needed to be discussed, and I was right. And thank you, gentlemen, for, men have to run in packs of wolves. KS used to say that. Iron sharpens iron. There may be a perspective. You should check out BMU Barbershop show on Friday nights, and it's all men talk, and they all sharpen each other's iron, But with that being said, this is the first page of my index card that I've gotten into, so let's get into it. What is the definition of an argument? It's the exchange of diverging or opposite views. The reason or set of reasons given with aim of persuading others that an action or idea is right or wrong. However, guys, the first and most critical step to arguing and start discussing is remember and recognizing who are you arguing with, and is this argument worth it to really get in a heated situation. It's to stop arguing. That's the most critical. Stop arguing and turn it into a discussion. And that's what most people don't do. And the reason I'm putting this banner up is because I did love my beloved Kevin Samuels. And one big takeaway that I had from him was this shit right here. And I literally sit back and wait for it when I'm arguing with someone. I'm up. There's the shame. Up. It's like to the T. People like to argue using sign language. Big shout out to Kevin Samuels. They want to shame you, then they want to insult you, then they want to make you feel guilty. And instead of trying to resolve the issue, it's the need to be right. And I hate to say this to my ladies, we are the most guilty of this. Instead of thinking of resolving the conflict, we just want to prove to the man that we're right. But you don't ever want to prove that you're wrong. You want to be wrong and strong, and then don't have the audacity or the compassion to apologize. That's what really gets to me. That is one of the biggest turnoffs that I can meet when I meet somebody, when they have that attitude of being wrong and strong. You have to be humble sometimes. You have to be open to criticism and learn to be a better version of yourselves. But when you don't ever apologize, and apologizing doesn't just mean say I'm sorry. The best apology is changed behavior. Why are you going to keep apologizing to me every week about the same shit that you really wasn't sorry? Because you haven't changed your behavior. So with that being said, hold on. I got to get into this. Remember to be clear as possible and practice kindness, respectfulness, and especially and foremost, respect. I don't think we remember what it is to respect each other. How to respect your man, the man that you go home at night and exchange bodily fluids to, the man that gives you money, the man that's covering you, taking care of your raggedy ass bastard children. Yeah, I said it. Instead of being humble and grateful, we want to give his ass to kiss. And I'm gonna switch it around, because men too. We so the good ones. We cook, we clean, we're there for you, we inspire you, we encourage you, we do everything right, and y'all will still be trifling. So it's on both ends. I am not here to bash men or women. I'm here to just get it right. We have to get back to respecting each other. Give people the benefit of the doubt. Be willing to forgive and compromise, especially if you love, respect, and cherish that person. You might not like having an argument, but everyone should aim to be better at arguing. Because life is too short to be stressed out. While I'm stressed out, tossing and turning, your motherfucking ass is sleeping like a baby on the couch. And that irks me. You know what I'm saying? So with what I've said so far, anybody can chime in. Go ahead.
I got you, Grace. Here's the problem. A lot of people like to say communication is key when it's really not. It's understanding. And how you do that is you have to practice getting to the point where you guys can reach agreement. You know what I mean? How you do that is with language. You know what I mean? Sometimes you're going to have to change your language up. Instead of saying you always, you know what I mean? Or I always, or something like that. Change your you and I language to we language. You see what I'm saying? Ask your partner, your wife or your husband, hey, what can we do to solve this problem? Basically, what you're doing is you're putting yourself and your spouse next to each other on the same side of the table, and you putting the problem on the other side. And now it's you and her, or you and him against the problem versus you and you against your spouse. It should never be that way. The language should be, okay, whatever it is problem that she has, well, I'll tell you what, let's think about this for a minute. What can we do to solve this particular problem? What have you noticed? And ask for that person's input and listen and say, you know what, that's a great point. Let me tell you what I saw as well too. And then you put your heads together and say, you know what, these are the actions. This is the part that I'm going to perform. This is the part that you're going to perform. And we're going to put it together, because if it's only one person that has to do something, then that's going to be an issue, because that person feels like they're going to be robbed. And that's never, ever a good situation where one person is always fixing something while the other one just tells them what to do. That is not a cooperative agreement between two people. So communication may be effective, but it's in how you do it. And we have to make sure that we get back to learning how to use effective language, use we language instead of you language. So that way we can solve the problems together. So that way we're not adversaries. You see what I'm saying? That's how that works.
Instead of fighting against each other, we're going to fight with each other and get to solve. I learned something from Dr. Phil. First of all, nobody should be sitting and another person should be standing, because you're not at eye level now. They said whenever you have an important conversation or something to talk about, I learned this from Dr. Phil, you get two chairs and you face each other, okay? And you really talk to each other. Not no name calling, shaming, insulting. You really get a conflict resolution, because again, this is how you deal with a bad argument. People, and I have to put our ladies out there, especially the ladies, we don't work through something. And then we bring it up again every time we have an argument, and we'll make that other person feel like their changes didn't make a difference. And make sure each problem is resolved before the argument ends. And then nobody will be inclined to bring up old shit again. I have learned to do that. If I didn't get resolution with that person at the time that conversation took place, then you got to charge it to the game. Don't bring up old shit. If we're talking about the burnt meatloaf, don't bring me up something that I did 3 months ago, because that should have been addressed 3 months ago. Now, I do have a habit of leaving things in the chamber sometimes, because sometimes things will naturally just come up. Things will naturally unfold, but you don't want to bring up one conversation in the middle of a heated conversation. You got to stay to the lecture at hand, as Snoop Doggy Dogg would say. Stop deflecting. If we're talking about the burnt meatloaf, then let's talk about the burnt meatloaf. Let's resolve it and move the fuck on. because life is too short, people. We got high blood pressure, hypertension, strokes. This is why men die sooner than women, because the woman keeps nagging, badgering, and not bringing the man peace. And yeah, I know I sound like I'm up for bat for the men, but at the end of the day, guys, anybody that knows me, this channel advocates for men. So it is what it is. I'm a boy mom. I'm gonna advocate for my son. I grew up with men, with good men. So I have nothing else, but I'm not saying I haven't gone through shit with men. Trust me, I've gone through my deal of hurt and pain. But at the end of the day, I'm not giving up on them. And a lot of us women have given up on a lot of good men, on a lot of kings that are out there. We just won't take the freaking time to talk to them about it. Go ahead. Anybody can chime in.
Yeah, Grace, I want to add one little thing to what you said earlier. You said you put the chair across the table. Don't do that.
No, the two chairs.
No,
the two chairs facing each other.
Don't face each other. I'm going to tell you
why not.
That's an adversarial position. What you want to do is you want to sit next to your man. A, because you smell good. 2, because you're soft. 3, if you whisper to him, it lowers the temperature of the conversation. So that way you can control it. You see what I'm saying? Because your man already like you because you're soft. So what that's going to do is going to let him listen to you. That's a physical thing. Remember, it's you and him against the problem. It's best that you sit next to him because I
never saw it that way.
Yeah. You're going to feel comforted because that's your man. He's going to protect you. You're going to feel protected. You see what I'm saying? B, he wants to protect you. He wants to listen to what you have to say. And not only that, you smell good and you look good. And that's going to bring down his inhibitions to listen to what you got to say. Women have got to get back to being women. Let me tell you something. Men suck as women. You understand what I'm saying? And women suck as men. So my thing is this: women need to get back to being women, and men need to get back to being men. You see what I'm saying? So never ever sit across from your man. Sit next to your man. Even when you go to a restaurant, sit next to your man so that way you can put your hand on his lap. You know what I mean? So you can rub his back. Put him at ease, because physical touch may be his love language.
You cooking right now, because I'm learning right now, sir.
Listen, you giving that man what he want, and you ain't even in the bedroom yet. His ears are open. You know what I'm saying? I think a lot of women need to get back to doing what women do best, which is, being women and being soft. Speak softly.
And now that I look at it, it could be kind of combative sitting across from him.
Yes.
You know, Grizz, what's going on, man? Let me go ahead and welcome you onto the panel. Thank you for coming. Go ahead and say what you have to say. What say you?
So I know. So with me, I've been married for about 16. This year be 17 years this year, and a lot has happened. Because I'm listening to these gentlemen, and I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna try some of this again. Going back to square one, going back to what you used to do. And but the thing is, when you as you get older, it's like sometimes it's hard to go back to. Sometimes I feel like it's hard to go back to square one because my wife likes using I statements. I feel blank when I'm doing this and stuff like that. I've actually tried doing that. And also, another thing that I'm actually working on consistently is not being the loudest person in the room with her. Even though she may be going up with the handle, but it's with me, I can feel energy from across the room. Like she doesn't have to be in the door. I know that bad energy about to come. But the thing is, it's hard for me to not to react. But I'm still working at it. So changing who I used to be as far as not being the last person in the room. When she talks, be quiet, listen attentively. But this one aggravates her the most is when I don't talk immediately, because she used to be talking immediately. But I'm trying something brand new with her, something to change my demeanor, my dynamic. But it's kind of aggravating because when you want to be we're both from Oakland, California. Sometimes the way we grew up it never leaves us. But I'm learning how to compartmentalize when I have to use my streets and stuff like that. But when between me and her, it's okay. This is my wife. This is not my adversary. But I'm like I said, with me, I'm learning how to be quiet and listen, but it still aggravates the woman. That's the thing about it. When you're trying to change your own personality, how do you deal with that though?
You have to ask her what you get out of the deal and mean it. One person can't always get something out of the deal. That's the definition of a deal. What am I getting out of it? And you gotta stand on it, man. Because think about it, if all you do is accommodate other people, they'll walk all over you. Just like somebody say, hey, if you do this for me, you have to have the balls to say, hey, what do I get out of this? Let's do business. Let's do business. That's how you do that. If all else fails, it shows up right here. It's sign language. It's basically manipulation. I like to do deals. I don't do manipulation because when you have manipulation, you only have one winner. Deals, you got two people that win. I like win-win situations. So have the guts. So have the guts to say, hey, what do I get out of this? Let's do business.
Hey, know what, bro? You speaking my language, bro? So I'm an actor, I'm a writer, I'm a film producer as well. And when you talk about let's do business, I'm like, yo, you speaking my language, like literally speaking my language. And so you know what? I'm gonna try that too, because it's like, she's complaining to me about how, oh, you don't hold me, you don't touch me. But I'm like, when I do try that, I'm annoying you. When I am trying to do something soft, so that's why I'm just kind of like, okay, I don't get it. But you know what? I'm actually gonna try everything y'all saying though. And also too, just going back to square one.
Yeah,
do something.
Here's the thing.
Maybe she needs counseling.
Yeah.
Because I know both of the time promise.
Listen, she wants it when she wants it, And sometimes you got to stop what you're doing and say, hey, look, I'm gonna give you what you need. But I'm gonna have to get back to doing what I'm gonna have to do in a minute. You know what I'm saying? But right now, you're the most important thing to me at this moment, And then let her do what she gonna do. And she gonna be happy and you go back to doing what you're doing, But you tell us that now next time, when I want it, I need you to stop doing what you're doing because I did the same thing. See, you the leader now. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
Like I do deals, man.
She ain't gonna pay up on that one. She ain't gonna pay up. Girls' credit is bad. Women credit is bad. She ain't gonna do it. Me, PA?
No, not you, PA. What's your name, man? What's your name again?
Huh?
What's your name again?
Who, me?
Yes, sir.
Oh, my name's Quentin.
All right, Mr. Quentin, man, listen, you say you've been married 15 years. Is that more than half your life or close
16.
to it? 16 years, is that more than half your life or close to it?
I'm 39, so
it's almost a little close to more than half your life, right?
Right.
So you've been able to start out. You've been able to start out where 75-80% of us can't. You was young, the wife was young. Y'all both have. Do you have children?
We got one.
One child, girl or boy?
Boy.
All right, so you got a son, right? So you leading your son. I'm gonna step away because I don't know nothing about your marriage. Hopefully y'all can talk about it. You know what I'm saying? You was probably a big dark-skinned stud when you met her. She just wants you to be that man, that big stud. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That's all we get. You have a skill. You say you have a skill. You're a writer. You have all that. Embrace that with your son. I'm telling you, man, it's easy. Your fix is easy. And I ain't trying to give you a fix. I'm just giving you a vision. Your fix is easy. Dabble. Get deeper in your skill that you have. Teach your son that skill. Always be, as far as her, man, sit down, talk to her, go walks with her. Your son old enough to stay at home where y'all can walk around the block and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Well, he's man, you got a pet or something, man. Everybody go for a walk, man. Get out. Enjoy the sun. Yeah. Get some new scents around. Open up all your windows, man, in your house on a sunny day, freshen everything out. And man, just what is y'all goal as far as for the future? Y'all want a financial increase?
Oh, yeah.
Y'all want to? I mean, what I'm saying is you have to talk about it. Don't talk about it to me or us, but talk about it with her and work. Right. And you'll see that some of y'all visions are very the same, but y'all just having to look at it different. Because I'm sure she's going out working, you working, You know what I'm saying? It's a lot. But now y'all have a child that's older. Shit, you don't know what he going through. It's hard as hell being a single child and you ain't getting the love and attention. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir. Sorry.
So as far as going into the future, man, just sit down and talk to her, walk with her, man. Y'all get outside, man. Everybody, listen, you going to the age where you got to think about your health and the longevity of yourself and her too, man. You got to really focus on self. Get other influences out your ear. Look at what you want to do and say, baby, you want to ride this ride, you want to weather these storms together based off of what we've vowed to and based off what we desire in our heart, man, shit, man, y'all can be living like kings and queens based off your own work. That's it.
Right. And you know what? And it's kind of funny because y'all was talking about sign language. I'm actually self-taught in sign language, and so I'm teaching my son sign language. I'm also teaching him Swahili. I'm teaching him sign language, Swahili, Spanish, English, and a little bit of Yoruba.
Look, you've been a great father. Now take all of that you teaching him, and you and your wife and your son, y'all go see the world and come back. Go see the world.
That's
go see
what I'm
world.
working on.
Oh, don't stop working on it. Stop working on it. Stop working on it. Take that pick out your head and get out there and do it, brother.
Hey, can I say something right there? And this
Go ahead, JT.
This to my man PA. That's what we talk about in value. You hear what that brother said he was doing with his son? Teaching him different languages. That's building value. The man is being valued. And the thing about us, man, is that we're not only valuable to a significant other. We're valuable in utility to the world. That's what human beings are. So we all have to build some form of value so we can contribute to one another. That's what value is.
I get it. But my thing is just that why do you have to have value to proceed in society? You should be able to proceed in society without any value at all.
No,
What,
you
he's supposed
can't.
to
There's
drop
a lot
dead?
of people, but no,
You know?
listen. There's a lot of people without value. You know what we call them?
People without value.
No, they're
They should be
insignificant.
significant. They should be significant.
Insignificant. You don't
It's-
want to be insignificant to the world, brother. You want
Well,
to
there's
be of
people that
value
love
to
them
the
too.
world because God put you on this earth to be valuable, to be able to contribute before you die. We all die. Before I leave, let me tell you what I want to do. Build value so it can be transferred down to my seeds. I have 2 daughters. I want them to be able to take something that I have of value and be able to utilize it themselves also. It's the same with all of us. We have to have some type. It's not an argument about that. You either got it or you don't. This is what this world is about. It's not about what you can get out of this world. It's about what you can give to the world. You wasn't here by choice. You was not here by choice. Therefore, once you're here, you got to deal with everything that's on this earth, right? While you're doing that, what you do is be of value, be of utility. That's why.
I have some relatives who are their brains aren't developed. I don't want to say too many terms that people use for that. Yeah, their brains aren't developed. They can't even speak, and they're adults, you know. And they can be deemed as insignificant, but my sisters and my mother love them just as much as everybody else loves everybody else. You know,
Yeah, you can love everybody.
When people say significant, I think that's a very, very, very dangerous term sometimes to label someone that. You know, everybody's significant. You know, even if
No,
they
everybody
are.
is not significant. That's just like that little saying that no one is better than the other person. Yes. In certain
I didn't say that.
categories,
No.
there are good.
that
There are
is not
people
the
that are
same.
better, and there are people that are worse.
Everybody's significant, as far as what I know. The definition of significant is because Ted Bundy is significant, especially if you ran up on him. You know what I mean? He's very significant. So, did he add
In what way?
Ted Bundy?
Yeah, in what way?
Ted Bundy took life. That's very significant.
No, that's not what I'm
No,
talking
that's not
about,
a good
bro.
significant thing, but it's significant.
No. So what I'm talking about is
Taking L's
being
is
of,
significant.
so let's talk about this. Being of utility. Being a
Being
person of
useful.
value, right? That's what we're talking about.
Being
And when we're
useful.
talking about value, it's what you can give, not what you can extract. That's
So-
what we're talking about.
So, and this is only for men, right?
No, this is men and women. This is everybody.
So
Like,
every man.
okay.
Anyway, I don't want to keep going. That we already talked about this. So
Yeah.
we probably have to. You probably have to get my information.
Yeah, give me an example real quick. Do you mind me getting an example real quick? So let's say that all of us are on a game show, and we have to build this house. This house is the house that we have to live in. There is no roof. Everything is messed up, and let's say that one person knows how to do plumbing, one person knows how to fix a roof, and one basically, if each person knows how to fix each part of the house, I feel like it. I feel like that's what you about value. If that makes sense.
I get what you're
I agree
saying.
with
I
you.
understand exactly what you're saying. Right.
agree
It's building. Right. So if you can't build in some type of way, that's what make you a person without utility.
Well, then
So
we're
at the
talking
end
about
of the
straight
day, we
men
all
stuff.
have levels in this, right? So when this is the only thing I'm saying. And it just goes to the point of what you were asking. Why do we have to have value? It ain't about what we have to have. You can go for a person that you don't understand what your value is, and you can go through this world and not knowing what your value is. Let me tell you what's crazy. There are people that you can see. You can observe the world, and you can see people that don't see their value. They have it. I can agree with that. I think everyone has value in this world, but this is the craziest part. Some people don't even recognize their value. Most people
agree
will
with that.
sit back and say that I have value. And it takes a minute for them to understand what their value is. Purpose is
I
what
agree
we're
with
talking about.
I agree with that, but I was just saying, like, why do someone has to have value for you to date them? Why can't you just want to, like?
Why would you want to date somebody with no value, bro?
I don't know. I've been doing it in my life. I'm kidding. You know what I'm saying? But
I mean, from a social construct, listen, when it comes to, and my brother gave a great analogy when it comes to actually building some things. Our social construct as a nation of colored people is not this house that my brother just illustrated. We can't even fucking organize the correct groups of people to build the house. And that's where we're falling apart. The men do what men do. Women have to school the women on just not outside of what they feel. I don't like the word how I feel.
Right.
I feel sick. When I feel something, my damn stomach is hurting. My fucking muscles are hurt. That's when I feel. But when it comes to people and philosophies and information, I believe it, I don't. Or I may have to just see it and do a little bit of digging for it. But as far as being able to build some stuff, we're right now in our feelings. Nobody's coming to the table willing to even build. Listen, I'm a man, and I'm not gonna make it long. And I believe in women being a woman. I grew up with 6 women in the house. My daddy was a crazy man I knew, and my daddy was an alcoholic. So when I left the house, no other man talk crazy to me like my daddy. I wasn't listening to you. I wasn't gonna argue with you. I don't want to get close enough to you. Don't put your hands on me. I ain't put my hands on you. I learned how to cut hair. You got $3 to $5. I'm gonna cut you up. We're gonna go on. I'm gone about my business. You can't talk me into going and doing nothing I didn't want to do. Women, I had sisters. I wasn't gonna argue with you. When I got to an age when I was out there in them streets, I came with who I was, this big nose, and I had nice little gray hair, and that was it. I'm gonna talk to you. If you don't like me, I'll keep it moving. Why would I argue with a woman? Y'all outnumber me. So I can't argue. Especially now, we grown men. So, and my thing is to have the young man and the young women arguing when You should be building who you are, of course. If you are high school, fucking be smart in high school. You want to go to college, be smart. You're going to have to make a decision at some point if you want to grow your own life. You should own the value. Your value is not in what you possess. It's in what you build and create. So if you build something, be blessed in that, and look and find somebody that you can influence to be a greater space than you were when you was 21, 22 being hurt. You can say, hey man, I can show you a different way, and invest in that, because that's building the community, that's building value. And as far as man, brother, it ain't us that the society part of it is man's value is who he is as a man, his character, how he walks amongst men, how he speaks amongst men, how he transitions. Because we all like our little dress and whatever, but when you go around men, you have to look a certain way, because men recognize that. You know what I'm saying? And women, I know, were in the play, unless we go into play. Women not even in that realm. But as far as you being able to own different, it's like strains. You can't put the detriment on yourself. People are enough because they throwing darts at you because you have a light that they can't see. Their light ain't shining yet. And if your light is shining, you can't focus energy to the negative light that's trying to suck that goodness out of you. You stay focused on the goodness. You back that other stuff off. It's coming. Expect it. They talk about Jesus. What you think they're going to do to my light-skinned, bald-headed self? They're going to talk about me. So yep. I accept it. I embrace that. That means I got energy that you want. You can't even get it from me, because guess what? I'm going to fight that shit off. You can't put it on. I'm sorry.
Well, if you're talking about that, as far as being able to use for the utility to build,
I'm not talking about men.
You're talking about. I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about what you said. I'm just saying what you mean when you all say being useful and having utility to build. Y'all talking about men, because, and I'm saying in general, can women can women, because we have to build. You usually need more than one, and it's very rare I've ever seen a group of ladies, and that includes my relatives, build anything without a man around. Usually women are trying to build with a man or men. Like the one successful lady that I knew, she was actually a builder. She worked with all men. I never saw her with another woman. So she's doing Fed time now.
So what you just said though, what you just said, bro, you just stepped on your own point then. If she was hanging around men, I guarantee those men were men of utility.
Yeah,
this
she
is
ain't
the
gonna mess
thing.
with nobody like that.
But she was around, you said she hung around men. I guarantee those men was not just standing around there twiddling their thumbs.
No, they was not. They had
were
to be
men of utility. And
but
so what she would do is, this is the thing. Now this is the part you gotta listen to. She would multiply everything that those men have in their mind. The reason why she's around them is because guess what? She's of utility also. It's the same thing in a relationship. If a woman has no utility, and if she's gonna bring something that is already, it's like giving a motherfucker a brochure for Christmas, right? She got coochie. Okay. Yeah, it is what it is. But what else you got? It's like, what's your next dance? Because that ain't a dance no more. I got this. You know how women will give men sex for Valentine's Day? You're like, I don't know, I had the shit yesterday. You gonna repackage the goddamn gift and give it to me?
Yeah, but that's different. It's different on Valentine's.
What happens, but this is the thing. The reason why women stay around a man of utility is because she's a woman of utility. She understands how to compliment her man. She understands how to be a pair. If she wants that
help
ring, all of that. But what she would do is be a woman of utility. If all she could offer is sex, that's all she's going to end up being is a sex toy. That's it. And until he's tired. And guess what? If that's the case, then guess what he's going to get? Some more coochie from somebody else.
And that's what her husband did. Her husband was useless. Now, who she built with was not her husband. I mean, what she actually built properties with was not her husband. Her husband was useless. She married a dude that was useless and ended up they ended up in the federal penitentiary. Matter of fact, he was less than useless. He was harmful, all right? But he was handsome,
Yeah.
and he was eloquent, and that's all it takes.
But what you're describing is toxicity. You're not
No, I'm
talking
just
about
saying,
somebody
that's
that
like
put any
you talking-
effort in, bro.
No, we were talking about that specific case, and I mean, I could imagine, but even her, and this is this is just my little limited life experience. Even her, she married somebody that was pretty much useless, except for what she liked, which is useful, I guess. You know, and that's why, and that's another thing. Like, why?
Well, she went to the Dingaling Museum.
She went to the Dingaling Museum. That's all she got was Dingaling. That was it. If she got with a man, right? If she got with a man, this is the thing. This is the thing. If she didn't even have any help vetting the man was she married to him?
Yes, they still married. They're getting a divorce, and they try to get a divorce in prison.
Yeah. Did her father have anything to do with the vetting of that man when he asked her to marry him?
Man, her father's a legend. Her father's a legend. I really can't speak on that. I just never met him.
Well, if he's a legend,
I think he was murdered.
So this is the thing. If she did the shit on her own, there goes your problem right there. At the end of the day, she got with a man that if everybody on the outside can see that man was limited in his value and she was still with him, that's on her.
She wasn't
Ain't nothing you can do with charging to the game. You charge it to the game. What else somebody gonna say to it? She liked what she liked.
Yeah, and now she liking. She in the coochie house, and her release date is a long time from now. That's neither here nor there.
All right, guys, let's get back on topic because I still got some good stuff. Stan, I'll get you in as soon as I start with this, but I do have to do fair use. My information tonight comes from co-director of the relationship support charity One Place One by the name of Penny Mansfield, and Catherine Landills, a partner in the family law team with Wither, with many years of experience between them dealing with relationship and close quarters. So I'm going to get into this, and we're not going to stay on it for too long because we're already at 2:21. I'm going to talk about 9 tips of how to argue better and effectively. And a lot of you guys already touched on it, but without even noticing that these are the ways to argue more effectively. The first thing is staying calm. First and foremost, recognize the impact of your own emotions and how you communicate. If you do not calm your emotions, it will get the best of you, and you will find out how hard it is to conduct a reasoned argument. Take a deep breath, use a code word, count to 10. What do you mean by code word? It's funny, I do this. If I see myself getting to a boiling point, and I'm in a relationship with a man, we use a code word. I'll say red zone. We're going into the red zone. I use a lot of sports analogy because I'm a sports chick and men can relate to it. Okay, he knows now that, or he'll tell me red zone, we need to just stop. Just stop, take a break, go for a walk, go get me an iced coffee. I'll go get you what you like to eat, but we need to stop. We need to stay calm. Count to 10. Do what you need to do to regulate your feelings, to stay calm and explain your point of view. Number 2, don't retaliate. Going back and forth like a tennis match of criticisms and blame can be emotionally draining and exhausting. This is how it paralyzes the position each side, and it's not really setting up a battle, not a discussion. If you see this happening, it's time to disengage. Sometimes we need to know when to disengage and take a cooling period. But no, we want to keep going, keep that man up 3-4 hours, knowing he got to wake up and be at work at 6 o'clock. Come on. We got to do better. Number 3, speak for yourself. If something has upset you, focus on your feelings rather than criticizing the act. Start by saying, I feel. Can be less confrontational versus saying, you did this or did that. Don't assume the other person knows how you feel, and don't make assumptions about what they're thinking. I learned this the hard way. I remember that I used to get pissed off at my ex-husband because of his baby mama behavior. That was asinine. He can't control her behavior and the things that she says and does. Why would I get upset at him? That's called misguided anger. And then it would do exactly what she wanted to do. Cause turmoil in our household. Cause problems in our household. And I had to learn that. Number 4, listen actively and patiently. A lot of y'all motherfuckers don't even hear us or each other. Y'all just listening to respond. You interrupt like a motherfucker and don't let people finish their thoughts or what they have to say. That's why men won't talk to us, because we don't let them talk. We don't allow them to be vulnerable and express themselves, because we right there jumping in, being combative, interrupting. Again, I'm not saying I don't do this. I haven't done this. I've been checked before, but I'm putting it out there so we can at least be aware of it. If you don't listen, you won't be able to see nor understand where the other person is coming from. And when we don't feel heard, we get frustrated and annoyed and feel disrespected. Notice the other person's body language and try to pick up on what isn't being said as much as what is being said. Even if you don't agree, acknowledge that you have heard can be a big step in making progress. So miss me with the facial expressions, the cursing, the interruptions, the fucked up body language, the over talking, and the yelling. Because that shit is not going to get you nowhere. It's not. And at the end of the day, the main goal is to resolve the conflict and end the argument. Number 5, speak clearly. Speak clearly about what you want and how you would like things to be in the future. Try to resist telling them what they need. I said that to a man one day. You know what he told me? I don't need to do nothing but stay black and die. It was just that one word that triggered him. They need to do different. Instead, focus on what's best for the relationship, the children, the business, etc., and how each of you can cooperate to make it happen. Again, we have to remember at the end of the day is to resolve the conflict and then have some great sex afterwards. Anyway, I throw that in there.
Yeah.
I knew that.
Focus on points you can agree. Reaching a compromise doesn't mean you lost ground or you've been punked out or your ego's been bruised. Look for points you can agree on and take positive steps forward to tackle and resolve the argument. Recognize the best solution is the one that both of you can commit and make work. Who cares who came up with the resolution? Who cares who was right or wrong? At the end of the day, it's to resolve the issue and stay in peace. Try to see and understand why their solution makes sense to them. The man can be right all day long. The woman can see that the man is right all day long, but we'll still fight it just so we can be right. So we won't give the man credit, or vice versa, or the woman. Let me not just genderize this to men. Guys, I know that all these gens are easier said than done, especially in a heated argument. But if you can just step the fuck back and see why the other person's point of view makes sense to them, you'll be one step closer to working out how you can resolve this issue. Because at the end of the day, it's not who's right, who's smarter, who's richer. It's to resolve the damn issue. That's the goal here. Number 8, almost done. Apologize when you're fucking wrong. Be prepared to admit when you're wrong, when you've overreacted or misunderstood. Showing respect creates a better environment for cooperation. You'd be surprised. It may even stop the argument in its tracks. That's all a person sometimes wants. It's just to say, I don't even look for apologies anymore in this world we live in. Just be like, damn, my bad, Grace. I know I fucked up. You know, just recognition that you messed up. Stop being wrong and strong. It is such a turnoff. It shows that you have no room for improvement and not willing to be open to become a better version of yourself. And lastly, but certainly not least, acknowledge their feelings. A lot of y'all fuckers can be very dismissive, can be very nonchalant, and act like y'all don't care. Put your hand down, PA. Make small gestures to show that you acknowledge your feelings, give your full attention, to show you value and respect your views, even if you don't agree. We gotta learn to disagree, agree to disagree respectfully. But all this back and forth, because you raise your voice at me, I'm gonna tell you straight up, I'm traumatized. My daddy used to yell at me a lot. Soon as you start yelling at me, I'm shutting down. I'm shutting down, and I'll go for a ride, or I'll go do something. But as soon as you start yelling at me, and I let you know at the beginning of a relationship, don't fucking yell at me, and then don't expect me not to yell back. We gotta tell each other what the do's and the don'ts when we do argue and when we do communicate. So with that being said, I just dropped 9 gems. A lot of it you guys already went over it. I was just trying to itemize it. You know, you guys can go back and see the replay, write this shit down, take a picture of it, do whatever. But as long as you guys become better people when you're arguing, especially in front of the children, especially in public. I mean, what we doing right now? I'm the type of chick, we could be arguing all the way to your mama house. As soon as we get out that car, hey babe, you want me to fix your plate? You need a drink? I will not tell your mama we arguing. Because it's none of her business. Because at the end of the night, we're gonna be right back in that bed. That's why you shouldn't tell people your business. Look, okay, you shouldn't tell people your business of what you're going on with your relationship, because now that person's perspective of you, of your man, has changed, and you're going right back to your man. Keep that in-house. Resolve it in-house. Now I know we got some go-to people that we go to, but you don't have to tell them everything and every detail, because you're the one that's gonna look dumb when you go right back to that man or woman. You know, these people bringing in their big brothers and their uncles, and we're getting getting deleted out there because you in your feelings, and right back at that night, you right back in that bed. All right, so all right, Stanley, I know you've been waiting patiently. Go ahead and say what you got to say. I know you've been listening for a while. What say you?
Oh, this was a great discussion. What's up, Unc? How you doing? What's up, Grace? Everybody else on the panel, how you guys doing? I love the topic you guys talk about, having value, because the dangerous part of, like, especially being the black man, if you don't find value in yourself, other people will put value on you and you ain't gonna like it. And it's a dangerous place to be when other people dictate how valuable you are or not. And it's not okay. So you gotta be in control of that. And I know, like, in our culture, we just wanna be cool and follow the crowd, but, like, sometimes you gotta step out of that and be your own man and have some, like, control over what people think about you, what people know of you. Because, like, your presence should speak more about you than your voice, and that's how I grew up. So, you know, for everybody else listening, like, hey, listen to these guys. Like, they're trying to help us out. Is they're not trying to, you know, dehumanize us. We got to change, and the world's changing, and we got to change with it. That's all I want to say. Absolutely.
Absolutely, we're already being marked as the angry black woman or the angry black man, and we're just feeding into that shit. You know, I remember one day at work, I got into it with an elderly white woman at work, and my coworker pulled me to the back and be like, yo, you need to stop. Who you think they're gonna coincide with? The old little white lady or the loud Dominican Italian from New York? You're automatically labeled as the angry woman. And we have to change. We know that all of us are not like that, but that is the perception that they have, because that's all they put out there. So it's up to us to change that perception, and not for them, but for us, for our children, for our community. I mean, I've seen coaches, I've seen parents. I mean, there was a time where I had to get police escort to my basketball games because I had a father try to jump on me because I wouldn't play his daughter as long as he thought I should have played her. I mean, it got to that point where I needed to be escorted by a police officer because I was in danger. You know, because he threatened me. He almost tried to jump my son because he thought I should have had his daughter in the game. I'm like, she's a 6th grader. I got to play my 8th graders to get them ready for high school, and she's inexperienced and making a lot of mistakes. But I'll get her there. And if you wanted to coach this damn team, then you should have put in your application to coach. I mean, it can get ugly unnecessarily, 0 to 100 real quick.
Hey,
so with that being,
can I share a quick story about that real quick?
Sure.
About value. So 10 years ago, my last job, mind you, I have a bachelor's in the AA degree. I worked myself into management. When I got into management, the people that I thought were my coworkers didn't want me to become a manager because the idea that a black man, now mind you, these are people of color, being their boss was something that they didn't want. And one of my coworkers told me, and I quote, "You know, the difference between you and a pizza?" And I'm like, "What do you mean what's the difference between me and a pizza?" And he said a pizza actually could feed a family of 4. And he said that in front of all the staff. So what my manager had to do was to like talk to everybody. If they didn't want to work with me, they either moved them out or they got them fired because it wasn't okay to be that disrespectful.
Wow.
And that's what I mean about like, man, if you go around with no value, especially if you're a black man, that is a dangerous place to be. It is not okay to have no value, no skills, nothing. It's not okay. Like you just, it's not okay. Because how the world sees us and how they're gonna treat us is gonna be something that you're not gonna be ready for.
Mm-hmm. I totally agree, but I think those guys with no value still have a place in this world. You know, or little value.
Yeah, they have a place, brother. They have a place. They're gonna have to always stay in the underworld. That's where they're gonna have to live.
You know, the saddest thing I've ever seen, I want to share this with everybody. If you want to see men with low value and no value, I say go on Sunday or Saturday to the mall, to Foot Locker, and you will see this grown man pointing at some shoes and giving some shoes and asking a grown woman with hella keys, can he get this one too?
Yep.
You see men, because of their wee-wee, got them a place to stay, but they have no money. And they depend on this grown woman for their livelihood.
Yep.
Or they got somebody else who already has a child and they got her pregnant again so they can move into the projects. This is what happens to men who have no value, especially black men. Yeah, they have a voice, but nobody listens to them because guess what? No one respects them. And when you have no respect and you know that people don't respect you, guess what you do? You shut up.
Yeah.
And you sit down.
These people don't mind.
You got to know when to shut the fuck up. You really do.
I got one thing to say. I got one thing to say. Actually, I got two things to say, if y'all don't mind. Grace,
go ahead, PA.
You said that you got mad at her at dude baby mama when she would do something. I got an idea now. I might be dead wrong. Why you got mad? This is my conspiracy theory, right? Now, so you at a young age used to talk about ladies and gentlemen like that. They're like, oh, why would he mess with her? Why would he deal with a lady like that? I wouldn't even mess with him. And then come to find out, that lady was more ratchet than the people you were talking about, and that probably infuriated you. Am I right?
No, she would come to the house, leave notes on the door, call in the middle of the night, and start a lot of drama and peace, and disrupt our peace. And she was ratchet because she didn't have her own life, and she was mad. One day he moved on with me because we used to date back in high school and we had a lot of history together. So it was like, oh, I knew it. Yeah, he came back to something that was familiar to him. Why not? And she was pissed that he had moved on. So coming to my house, popping up to my house, being an unwanted guest, calling in the middle of the night and causing a lot of drama, I would get upset with him. And I've heard him trying to talk to her and say, stop doing this, or you really don't want to wake up that sleeping giant. You know, because I was trying to allow him to handle it because he's the man. But it came to a point where I went to her job and I baited her. See, women are so easy to bait. I said, hey, I got your child support check here. I don't want to mail it, and it's a Friday and Monday's a holiday. Can I stop by your job and just drop it off to you? That bitch said, yeah, sure. And that's when I got her ass. You see what I'm saying? Because you know,
Grace, can I speak to your list? Can I speak to your list? Can I speak to the list that you read off?
Sure, of course.
I probably overlooked it, overheard it, or didn't hear it, but I'm gonna add to in relationships, whether men or women, same sex, whatever it is. 2 things you can do that are really bad is 1, keep score. You keep score, you're going to fail. And 2, hold grudges. If you hold a grudge, then you got to work. It's something about you. You got to go find that out. Don't be in a relationship.
Yeah.
Don't be, because you don't hold the grudge at work with the people that paying you a little check. But in order to build your life, and as you get older and you start holding on to these spirits that deal with other people, that come from other people, you start fucking getting locked bowels. It start affecting your heart rate, your blood pressure, things that you don't need, you know, in your life as you get older. A lot of people spend years fighting and biting and resisting. You know what I'm saying? And then when they get to a certain place in life, they don't even know how to control it at all. Everything crumbles. Whether they got children or not, they're not really able to see a vision for themselves getting brighter. It's always doom and gloom. Everybody else did it. He did it. She did it. Everybody else did it, but they still sitting in the same pile of shit for 2 weeks, 3 weeks. Nobody's trying to make a change. You have to be able to step back from it. If you're in a relationship, then you can't carry grudges. You deal with it, whether you have an argument about it, but you have to argue with respect. You can't go personal stuff that you know somebody done cried on your shoulder about and all that. You can't do that. You can't go running to the streets about different things, about personal incidents. And if y'all argue, if there's certain things before you got married, once you get married, all that shit out the door. All this shit's stupid. If you still talking about shit before you got married, you stupid. You gonna destroy everything. And
absolutely.
If you forgive the person and they show, because you gotta show with your actions if you are forgivable too. If you say if you want to be forgive, then just show it in your actions. But if you forgive a person, don't harp on, this is where you holding grudges. Don't always, he might do this or she might do this down the road. No, just keep your eyes open and have those communications when y'all laying in bed, after you done rolled the carousel or after he done bent you over the bed. You turn around and lay down and say, look, man, remember that other shit? Are we still good on that? Because I'm trying to be better. You got to have the conversations today. You don't hold that shit in. You got to let it go, man. And if you want to build, that's the greatest thing. I wish you can find out before it get too late. That if we can learn how to build together, shit, man, we'll take over the world. Fuck how you feel, what you trying to do out here. I don't give a damn about how people feel. I don't. If you got, let me correct it, because I want to be like, if you got some family that, some tragic, we all hate to lose loved ones, man, I wish they can live to be 100. I wish everybody can just get 100 years on this earth. But if you spend 25, 30 years grudging about stuff that happened to you outside of 20 years, you don't retard yourself on pain. It's time to let that shit go. Don't live the world, man. If you don't want no woman, don't have no woman. Keep your $40, $60 ready and call somebody when they need $60. If you don't want no man, focus on you. If you don't want no man, you should be fine as hell. Every man that look at you should be like, damn, she fine, but she don't want no man. You don't want no man and you still 230 pounds. That shit don't add up. because that's when you have social and emotional issues. You going in your room at night crying about it because you standing still. So, you know, listen, we all gonna go through it, but don't argue with nobody. Don't own other people's spirits. Don't do it. You got enough of your own that you're trying to fight off. So just be the best you can be. I'm sorry.
Hold on, I got a last minute guess. I'm gonna let him in. How you doing, sir?
I'm doing good.
Okay, let me take down the final thoughts banner, because this always happens when I'm trying to do final thoughts but you know, I'm gonna welcome it. The fact that you got something to say, let's go. I know you've been hearing this. I know you've been in the chat. What say you? What do you have to say?
Long ago, because I want to give some shout out to everybody who's on the panel, because I was running a show not too long ago that I feel I need to do before I pop up in here. So since I'm seeing what's going on, I enjoy the conversation. I don't have too much to say, but this here to show some love to the people on the panel. And so I have not been showing up on this channel for a while because I had a lot going on for myself. You know what I'm saying?
So what you got to say? What do you think about how people are arguing nowadays? I mean, because a lot of us are socially awkward.
It's not about socially awkward. It's more about people are losing their backbone. Let's be honest. I'm old school. JT is old school. You old school. Today's society wants to dictate how we're supposed to argue, or how we're supposed to conversate, or how we're supposed to identify one another. But what I'm seeing right now is kind of like you're moving every function and factor in a conversation that make it easier for people to understand one another. But instead, it make it seem like you have to be careful what you say, or how you say, or how you put it out there. Which I find it intellectually stupid, to be frank with you, because being in the YouTube street, monitoring YouTube, looking at Facebook, TikTok, everything, looking to people that have conversation, I'm always closing my eye and listening to their words. And what are they trying to say? What are they trying to articulate? And what are they trying to put out there? And many times I've noticed that people don't know how to express themselves correctly because they're afraid to offend somebody. If you're trying to break something down to someone and you're trying to paint a picture for them to understand, 9 out of 10, they're trying to shut you up because they don't understand it under the 180 characters. Blame that on Twitter. I don't understand how people cannot try to listen first before they respond. Listen to understand. That's one of the biggest issues. And JT understands it very well because we've been saying it for so long. We're trying to have a dialogue, trying to have a conversation. We're trying to have a level of understanding. But for me to understand someone, I have to keep my mouth shut, listen, and understand the person when they're coming from their own point of experience. Here, everybody trying to police everybody. Everybody trying to control everybody. Oh, you cannot say that, you cannot say that. Based on what? What are the rule book behind that? This is why when you see me go off on some people, I'm trying to let you know, you sound like a complete idiot. You can explain yourself properly without the fear of crossing any line, which I never had a problem with that. Speak your mind, speak your heart. Let me understand where you're coming from. Then from there, I can ask questions to verify if this is exactly how you feel. That's old school conversation tactic. Not what we have in today's time, whereby, oh, you can't say this word, or you can't say that word. You gotta be this way. Like, are you kidding me? Right now, America becoming the most dumbest country on the planet. And people don't notice that. You make all kind of stupid rules, regulations, how you put to address a person, how you put to identify, what they're supposed to be, what they're not supposed to be, and you don't really make it a mockery of yourself. Now, if I want to be visually crazy, I would say this. Your president elections show how dumb the country is. And y'all still don't get it. The main two candidates is nothing but part 2 of the same BS, which I've been saying for far too long. Y'all have to know what you're doing to yourself. And I'm gonna tell you off the bat, I'm not even voting for neither one of them because there's none of them good for me. And that's the real. It's like I always trying to understand the main point of the conversation and anybody talking about anything. What I notice, we're too afraid to be transparent. You're too afraid to be real. You're too afraid or tell the truth about something. If you tell the truth, or you're attacking somebody. No. I'm not attacking anybody. I'm attacking the argument. I'm attacking the issue. Not trying to tell you that people out there want to attack somebody because they don't have a answer. Okay, really?
What you want to do?
That's my sister right there. I didn't think that was going to take you to the shirt. I was like, oh God, here we go. But
Hi,
really,
Miss
though,
Daz.
but really, that's what I mean. That's what I hate the most about people today. We don't know how to have a proper conversation, expressing our feelings, expressing our past, what we went through, and how we approach it. We quickly want to shut somebody off or attack somebody, and someone give you information that it's nothing but clean facts. I don't believe it. What do you mean you don't believe it? You can't compare your anecdotal experience and make it seem that this was generalized. This is how everybody deals with it. No. Unless you travel out in the world, you travel in different countries, and you start to understand everything not based on what you think it is. And I'm guessing people don't travel out much because they don't have a bigger view of people comprehension, people experience, people struggle, people journey in life. Life is a marathon. It's not a sprint. We're here to learn, we're here to express, we're here to help one another, we're here to understand people and move on to the next level of things. But these days, we have too many wannabe gurus, wannabe idiots. If it's not on YouTube, you'll find them on Facebook. If it's not on Facebook, you find them on TikTok. They get a bunch of jabroni. I'm not gonna lie. I'm getting so tired of watching dumb people acting like they're so highly intelligent. That's not the one that if I go to the right school.
I hear you.
Check. I'm gonna have to do background check. Any of these dumbass gurus go to the school I attended before, I'm gonna burn my degree. I'm gonna burn my certification because that's not what I want to be a part of. We'll talk. And I'm being frankly honest though.
Okay, I'm a dumbass. Did you go to the University of Houston?
Thank God. I thought about that. Maybe I changed my mind then.
All right. Well, you good. You don't have to burn. Maybe I have to burn mine.
Well, Baz, welcome to the show. I appreciate you coming. I don't know how long you've been listening or what all you've heard, but what say you?
I didn't catch the beginning or nothing, but one thing, people drive like they act, and you know how people drive, right? Me first.
Mm-hmm.
Me first. I mean, they'll mess up traffic because it's me first. They don't want to merge because it's me first.
No signals.
That is absolutely true, man.
Right.
That is absolutely true, man. And I hate to say this, I'm finna poo-poo on black women. Whenever I've been walking and I'm about to cross the street, and I know a car is gonna blur right by me and look at me like, oh, you can't cross. It was a black woman sitting in the car. I will tell you, and let me know if I'm lying. I'm good.
I don't know.
That's okay, Pierre. This is a safe place to vent.
Myself from beating up a lot of white men.
Oh yeah. My bad, dog. My bad. I jumped over. But it's mostly black women. Yeah, it's mostly black women. But yeah, I did. Matter of fact, the last time that happened was a black man downtown Houston. I was walking yesterday. That's another story. And that's for that part. I'm talking about I'm walking across the street with vroom right in front of me. I was like, what? He was just like,
the only thing I could say, women and that's, you know, in general, that's guilty of is that they all got lead foot. But
in the parking lot. I hate that.
Yeah.
In the parking lot. Why are you going 45 miles an hour in a parking lot?
But I gotta say, no, where I have the whole thing with it's me first. It'd be a lot of white men, white men.
Well,
that was my experience. And
Well,
I've
my
been-
experience is I've had white men say, okay, come on, you can come on across and stop the car, hold up traffic for me. Black women had never done that. They're like, fuck that nigga.
That's people in general, though.
I'm done.
You know how many people I done gave a bird to
Grace,
and
Grace,
cussed out?
hold on, Grace.
That's
I'm from
people
New
in
York.
general.
You know that's true.
It is a personality thing, no doubt. So I honestly understand what Bass was saying when it comes down to if you want to find out what a person's real personality is, get their ass behind the wheel of a car and you're gonna understand.
Now I will let you in if you have a turning signal on. But if you're trying to debo me, nah, you ain't getting in. Nope. No. If you're a courteous driver and you wait, now not in the highway where it merges, but I'm talking about like if we're in traffic and you just trying to debo you, put the turning signal on and I will let you in. But if you're just trying to debo me, no, fuck you. You gonna wait. You gonna wait.
That's that New York shit.
You gonna learn
right
today.
What do you mean is that New York? I'm trying
Listen.
to teach you manners. Drive with etiquette.
You can't teach a stranger on the road manners. You are dealing with crazy people. Let me tell you what you do. You make sure you always have your car smelling good. Have an air freshener or something in your car, and you play jazz. You play some Coberson. You play some, you play some
Kenny G?
Michael Franks. Kenny G.
Nah, man. I'm listening.
I'm talking about walking.
It depends on my mood what music I'm listening to.
You play
Oh,
some Candy
JT.
Blowing my damn horn.
Hold on.
I'm talking
JT.
about walking, man.
Blowing my damn horn.
You blowing your horn?
Listen, if y'all think I'm lying, it is a psychological thing. Air freshener. Always keep your car smelling great and play music that can either get you thinking or something to have you reminiscing. If not, that's why y'all asses be on the goddamn road angry for no fucking reason at all.
I'm angry. Once I get DMX, once I hit DMX,
Damn, I'm gonna have to have a show on driving etiquette.
Hold on. JT, forget something. JT, what it say? JT, what it say? No play, no Nicki Minaj. No Cardi B.
nothing that nothing where it's always crass.
No Snoop Dogg.
I need my DMX and Ice Cube.
Nah, y'all doing too much.
My DMX, I'm growling. I'm like,
no, you play you some jazz. You play you some easy listening music. If you gonna play anything, play some Doobie Brothers. You know what I'm saying? Play some something where it's just,
JT, you showing your age right now, sir.
No, I'm not showing just my age. Let me tell you, I've been doing this since I was 20-something years old. I had 3 accidents, and all 3 accidents was the person that ran into me. You know why? Because I ain't rushing to get nowhere. I'm driving. I ain't racing.
Yeah.
Especially when I was
Trying to
younger.
get there alive.
Yeah. But even when I was younger.
But did you die?
The only time I had to put that car to test is when we on the Autobahn or freeway. Other than that, I'm leaning. What my man Will Smith say? 2 miles an hour, so everybody sees you. I'm cruising. I got the music going, I got the sunroof out, I got the air freshener going, I just cleaned the car, I feel good.
Somebody has an echo.
Yeah,
But the way the other people driving, they got me saying, y'all gonna make me lose my mind. Up in here. Gonna make me.
Now you on I-75 with your damn fender bent, and you mad as hell trying to call your damn insurance company.
No, I'm following them. I'm like, 1, 2, pulling up shop.
You gotta drive, man. You gotta cruise.
When I was 20 years old, man.
And when people be late, and it's my fault that they late.
Man, don't hit my car. Listen, when you drive today, be safe.
Please don't
let nobody hit your car. Don't ruin your day. It's an extra expense we don't damn need. I'm gonna blow my horn so you can wake up, get off your phone, pay attention to the road, so you can get where you gotta go. I can get where I gotta go, and you ain't ruining the day. I'm gonna let you go. I'm gonna blow it, keep it moving, wake up. I ain't trying to have none of them problems. My wife figured something out. She said, every time we go, you don't like to ever stop. You like to get straight to there. Yes, because I'm on time. I'm trying to be and not waste extra time dealing with the sociology of the world.
Yeah.
Don't touch my car, keep it moving. I ain't rolling down my window for you unless
Don't
I
touch
do
a
it for
black
the
man's
dog.
radio.
Yeah, I'm gonna have my music on what I likes, like Lady Novo, yes, some Johnny Taylor, some Tupac, some old school, some good school.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have some romance songs. I'm gonna have Slap That Booty song. All this on my radio.
Every time I'm about to slap that booty,
None of
I'm
this is like
on the
you
road,
gonna
get
help.
ready. When I'm going, I'm going.
So what I'm saying is, when you in that zone, let me get to where I gotta go, where I can take care of this money, and I'm coming back home so I can eat, because my wife is gonna make me a sandwich. And you know,
I know that's right.
So
air freshener.
don't touch my dog.
Trust
Man, that's not gonna help, man. Black women.
Well, I know what to get you for Christmas now, JT.
Black women be on road rage, man. My uncle used to got into it with my mama. And I was walking down the street at 11 years old. And all I would hear was, I was like, oh, here come Aunt QC. Here come Aunt QC. That's my aunt. I hate to say this, my aunt was a black woman.
He said, I hate to say it.
I was just,
So the common denominator is you walking. You need to stop walking and start driving. That's it's you walking, you getting hit. You a magnet.
I missed that in this time, but hold up, let me circle the block. I'm gonna get his ass again. Here she come again. We had to go duck into somebody's house, like, man, my Aunt QC, just because she got into it with my mama over a family issue. This is a true story. Y'all think I'm making that up?
No, I believe you. I believe you. Hey, Grace, I gotta go. But Grace, good show.
Thank you, Stanley. I appreciate you.
Hey, there was one theme I've noticed that you guys talk about in the 2 hours that kept on coming up. Maybe you could cover it next week. Is like how to build, because even I don't know how to build. Like how you build with a person, because that's the whole show. Because I'm looking at it this way: we're looking at 3 generations that don't know how to build. We have a list, but that
is a good show.
Saying building, I didn't understand that. Like all of us was kind of lost, like and fearful. Like I don't want to build, but I want to go on dates. Okay, you just want to go eat. But you don't want to build with a person? I mean, that's where we're at.
Yeah, that'll be a great show, man. That'll be a great show.
I think that's a good. I'm gonna look into it as soon as I'm done here. I'm gonna look into that. You know, because it's true. You got to be able to be with somebody who's willing to pick up the bricks with you and build together. That's why credit score is important with me when I get with somebody. I can't build with you if you have a 4 in front of your credit score, because then everything will be in my name, and then you'll be mad, be resentful, because everything is in my name and not your name. So we walking in together with 830 credit. Okay, so everybody's on the same playing field.
I think it's a little bit deeper than that.
Like Grace, we're not gonna stay at my grandmama's house. Like that's what you saying?
We'll stay at your grandmama's house, but we're gonna fix your credit in the meantime, in between time, because we're gonna get out of there in 6 to 9 months.
How about the project? The project will get rent for $15.
Nah, okay, nah, I ain't having that. I'm not going backwards at 49 years old, going to the project.
But that's what I'm talking about, like that whole building stuff. Yo, like that's like we have to like look at that, because like nobody knows that, like why we're building, like what are we building for and towards. Like
that's why you have to have financial literacy.
The other guy.
No, wait.
The other guy with
building is not, when you build with a person, it's not for you. For your community.
Now you see, now that's another class. Because everybody like F the community is about me.
What is that freaking noise?
The community starts with you, your wife, and your children, right?
No. Is it me?
Let me see. I'm gonna mute you for a second. Bye, Stan.
Oh, it's me?
Oh, you see why we gotta move out your grandmama house?
Oh, you see, man. And I got this Obama phone.
Oh shit, you got all kinds of bad luck.
Great, so you get the call.
All right, guys, bye.
All right, brother.
I'm dead. The Obama phone.
Yeah, that'll be a good show. That'll be a good show.
Yes,
but
it will.
It's more than just, building on the outside. You got to build in the inside first. You got to have the ideology of what it is and purpose of what direction you're going into. So it's more than just, building credit and building all these different things. This is what we were talking about earlier with men. It's a little bit different with us. We can't wait till we get to, 25 to start wanting to build, right? It's supposed to go from the time that you become a preteen, and that's the purpose of having a dad, because he's gonna build way before then. As soon as your ass is old enough to say goo goo gaga, it's already gonna start. From the time that you start learning how to share with other children, that's the purpose of being around other children. Because if you've ever looked at children and observed children in their just natural environment, they some goddamn ingrates. Children, they behave viciously with each other, especially when it comes down to ownership, right?
Yeah.
No, just actually when you see children, you see a balloon, a child will have one, the other child will go right to that child and take the balloon. This is a natural state of what we see. We don't look at things and observe things to that point right there. That's a part of building your child, to teach them how to share, but to also teach them not to be getting punked and let nobody stand on them, to have balance in their maneuver. You want them to be protective of themselves. You want them to be able to protect others. You want them to be able to be an upstanding adult. You don't want them to be criminals, right? So in order for us not to have criminals, we have to develop their minds in a natural state. That's why it's always been where they say, don't use foul language around your children. Don't argue around your children. It's a lot of things why what they used to always tell us, because these are things that stick with us as kids. And guess what we end up doing? 11 years old, we end up
I say
having
that
those things stuck with us. Go ahead. I didn't hear you. Go ahead.
Yeah. No, I was gonna say that I'm of the belief that if there are children on the property, like you think they're outside playing, right? If there are children on the property, you might as well think that they're inside the house.
Mm-hmm.
They'll be thinking you're talking amongst adults alone, because kids are sneaky. Right. We don't want to miss out on nothing, right? When we were kids, we don't want to miss out on nothing, so we sneak and listen to what the adults are talking about. You know what I'm saying? Like, first of all, don't forget what it was like to be a kid, because that's how you mess up. When you forget how it was to be a kid, and then you're no longer thinking what that mindset and all the thoughts that went through your mind as a kid that these kids are gonna do now.
Now, understand this.
So,
when children are ear hustling, that's what we call it. When children are ear hustling, it's because they're caught from the inflection and reflection of the adult's voice. So when we carry our voice and we say things with emphasis, that's what catches the child's ear, right? Because if we just talk to each other monotone, children don't give a fuck about what we talking about. Everything is just monotone. We having coffee and we just talking. But when a child hear, girl, did you hear about with Tyrone and all them? Because they hear the inflection, reflection, they hear how exciting it sounds. So being a child, that's when you like you have a child, they be sitting there playing or watching TV, and literally it's like they're a zombie. They'll be just watching TV all into it. And as soon as they hear that, girl, did you hear? They do just like this. And
But
now you have their attention also. And that's
But
what
you
happened. And
know why?
when you catch that child sitting there just looking at you, what most moms tell their kid? Will you get out my mouth? You all in my mouth. But it was because of how you delivered it. That child wouldn't care nothing about monotone. Children don't like adult shit, really, to tell you the truth. Most kids are not interested in adult shit. They don't care when it's monotone. But when adults are acting like children, it's when children is like, because you speak in their language now. When you out there arguing and mad and pissed off and shit like that, on the flip side, when things are funny and things like that, children they like, wow.
Yeah,
Now, if a
women-
child wants to be an adult, that's when you already know, damn, I done fucked up.
But women can't help that because women and gay men need attention like fish need water. I got that from Kevin Samuels. What he said. But yeah. So they gotta say, girl, that's the only thing. Name me somebody else that'll do something about like that except for women and gay men. Don't worry. I'll wait on that answer the rest of the show.
Well, it's because this is the thing. Women are different than men. That's basically what it is. It don't have to be so toxic. It's just how women are. Like with men, when we talk about sports, fishing with tackle and stuff, we are more interested in things, right? We talk about things. So little boys end up wanting to be around their father when they hearing him talk about things, being a mechanic, fixing on something as small as a lawnmower. It makes it very interesting to the little boy. Why? Because the father makes it interesting, especially when he has friends and partners and stuff like that. I like to play baseball. Not because I had a whole bunch of friends in my neighborhood that like to play baseball, because my father was very good at it, and he liked to play baseball.
This is the unique situation because you can speak from experience, and I think where young men and young women do themselves a detriment, even if two people have a child and they're not living together and are not in a relationship. The mistake women make is that when the child gets up to a certain age, I always say when that scrotum sac separates from the body, they're so visual towards the man who prayed or broke their heart or just moved on that they won't even allow that child to transition into that man process. And that has to come from a man, the father in a sense, because a lot of that child's DNA is of the father.
Yeah.
A lot of that child's emotions is of the father and the woman. And she's only feeding him her negative visual emotions about men because she's not valuing her son. Because if you value the child, you will make sure that your child is disciplined in any capacity. Now, as far as a man, if we have to look at it at some point, because we all see a child and be like, man, he look short and look like me, man. And like you said, you had a father that played baseball. Even the brothers that don't even want to be with their child, them damn boys got skills. If they would just focus a little bit on the sons, take the mother out, because you still getting cheeks at other women. So dismiss her altogether. Respect her for what she's doing, because unless you say, let me have him, but just make sure that she understands where you're trying to go with your son, even your daughter. Don't focus on who she's sleeping with or whatever. Just let that dude know. Because you probably know that dude. Let that dude know, hey, dude, this is my man right here. Don't touch him. If you can shoot him ball, show him how to don't disrespect him. Call me if you need, because you might see him at the club anyway. Don't care about if he slapped his little cheeks on. You can't do that. But you got a situation where, yes, a lot of these young kids, they not getting no separation. They seeing all their adult shit.
So listen.
Everybody's showing their booty. Everybody's smoking and drinking in front of the kid can't eat right.
But this is what I'm saying. Right. I'm speaking from, and it can be unique, but I'm telling you, that's the deficit, right? That's the deficit for a child to be able to connect. Like I said, with the mom, because mom is about people. Mom is about people naturally, right? Father is about things. It's always about the things that he's doing as either an occupation or a hobby or something like that. What children are missing is the combination of both, right? That's what I'm saying. That's the only thing I'm saying. I'm saying it from my own experience It was from like my development as being a man, right? One of the things, again, it's about to speak back to PA. This is about value again. This is about value. So value is based off of how you are being raised, right? That's your foundation. Born, and then you're being raised. Then it comes up. Again, father is about stuff and things. Things. Mom is about stuff and people. She's people. That's why you have so many nurses. That's why you have so many school teachers that are women. That's why you have, it's people. If you go to HR, majority of people that work in HR are women.
And gay people.
Yeah.
I ain't talk about that. Listen, I try to keep that out of my lexicon. They here.
Dude, I'm just saying, I have to
They're
deal
all over the place.
Look,
what I'm saying is,
I have to deal with these people on a daily basis.
No, but what I'm saying is, again,
but
what I'm saying again is, this is where value comes from.
Yeah.
Your foundation is where your value starts. That's with women and men when they're girls and boys. Everybody has value, but what your parents are here to do is to help you reach your understanding of your personal value and to help you develop that. Because you're gonna find it yourself. They're just here to guide you to it, so you can meet a mate.
Yeah.
Now, this is the craziest part. What's supposed to happen is that we're supposed to have our children for our grandchildren. And a lot of people don't get that statement. Why? Because they're in relationships for what they can get out of it. So they're not even searching for purpose. If you look at it in that sense, then everything is done indirectly. Directly and indirectly. I don't have my children for my children. I have my children for my grandchildren. Just like having a marriage. You don't have a marriage to be happy, and you don't have a marriage to have all go on trips and shit. You have a marriage for your children, so they can have a stable environment. And you have your children for your grandchildren. And in order for you to have your grandchildren to have a stable environment, you got to make sure that you try your best to raise their parents. That's what you do. You see how this works? This is the life. It's the thing that keeps on giving. What did they say? It's the gift that keeps on giving. That's what we're doing. That's what it's about. So again,
we still here, fam.
Yeah. So again, yes, I would love to have another panel on basically what we were saying. What was old boy talking about? Building or some shit he was saying. So when you talk about that, we have to break that shit all the way down. Guaranteed, it's not gonna come where happiness is gonna be there. Happiness is not gonna be in that conversation once you start understanding that all of this shit is done for duty. You know why? Because none of us, and I mean none of us, had anything to do with being on this earth. But we have everything to do with maintaining.
JT?
It's our responsibility instantly.
But
JT, you know we talked about it before, right? About that conversation and what it will lead to. So it comes to a point whereby you got to worry about what broke the chain of sharing information from the older generation to the younger generation.
To the younger generation, yeah.
That's where the problem comes to play. When I talk about African culture, we have to listen to our elder to understand our duty, to understand our responsibility. Because
you will live in hell when you are disrespectful to your elders. You'll be in a living hell.
Well, Mon QC tried. I'm going to hell because Mon QC tried to hit me with a car, and yeah, I'm going to hell because fuck that bitch.
No, listen, you don't. I'm not saying that you gotta take what the hell that they give you and you take us. He's still on that shit too, ain't he? No, you don't take abuse or nothing like that. Sometimes
I love me some PA.
You know what? Sometimes, man, you gotta love. Sometimes loving your loved ones sometimes means that you gotta let their ass the fuck go. You gotta get out of their goddamn life. Sometimes you gotta love them that much to get out of their life, to get out their way.
Yeah.
And whatever happens to them, I mean, God bless them.
But
that's
you know,
the only thing.
You know why the kids respond to that high pitch excitement? Isn't that the way we talk to babies?
Yes. No.
Hey!
Oh, watch this. Yep. You know what?
Hey, the real baby.
Yeah. But check this out.
Do men raise their voice?
But
when
it's
they
what
talk
they
to kids?
also hear inside of you women. They hear high pitches and they hear this. Shh. Shh. This is what shushing is. Shh. It's not to tell somebody to shut up. It's to comfort the baby, because that's why they're waddled or swaddled tight. And when you rocking them, guess why? Because the womb was rocking them. So when you saying shh, you're making the sound that it was inside of the womb, inside of your belly. That's why we go shh.
That's all I hear is shut the hell up. That's all I hear is shut the hell up. Shut your little bad ass up.
Yeah, somebody else started. No, it was shh. It comforts the baby.
Shut your ass up.
Because their ears are new. So high pitches and high light. Oh, that's why when the baby come out, they come out and they be blinking. Like, it's like, whoa. Because everything, they're brand new. The skin is new. They got that new baby smell right here. You know, when you, right there, when you kiss the baby right there. And yes.
Shut your ass up. That's all.
That's crazy. Ain't
And
it,
also,
y'all?
you hold the baby on the side of your heart so they can hear the heartbeat.
Because they've been hearing that all that time. Yes. So that's what it's about. Man, and let me tell you something. People can say what the fuck they want to say. The greatest gift that God gives us is us and each other. That's there ain't nothing else. Anything else looks like a miracle is not as much of a miracle as we are. We are some dope ass people right here. And when we sit down and we really think about this, this is why we have to say, hey, look, we are all connected, right? And the only thing we can do is to struggle to get back as connected as possible before we die, right? I can die, but my ideology don't have to die. My thoughts can go right and transfer right to someone else. Right. That's the currency. They can take that and then they can think of it even more, and they can elevate what they heard from me. And it goes on and on and on. Think I'm lying? We right here. You see this right here? Somebody thought of a telephone. Somebody thought of a telephone, and look how far we done got now. We got a telephone, a television, a camera. We have everything built in one.
Calendar.
A microphone, a calendar. We have everything built in one. Why? Because the technology is not this. The technology is this.
Yeah. But
it's from our imagination. So a weird person in all actuality is a smart person, because they're thinking outside of the box. They just changed it. Think I'm lying? Look up the etymology of weird. It's not gonna say crazy. It's not gonna say any of that shit. It's a unique person. They think unique.
Yeah.
That's where they're from. And it takes a weird person to make some shit like this, or what we're talking on. We sitting here and we got people from all different damn states. Everybody from different states and cities and shit like that, but we all right here. One mind, one sound.
And we're immortalized.
I'm just about to say some shit that. What you get what I'm saying?
We're
all
immortalized
connected.
here. Yeah.
Well, I'm in the IT industry.
One of my cousins that passed away.
This can be used for evil also. Keep people from going outside.
Yeah.
Keep you from getting fresh air.
Donald Trump.
Keep you from thinking outside the box. Keep you from reading books. But if
stuff
you use it right and
cyberbullies.
Cyberbullies. All that, you got
cyberbullying has been going on for 15 years. Ever since they came with these type of spaces, Facebook, that was one of the prerequisites within the middle schools and high schools 15 years ago, cyberbullying. You know, so we just, you take people that were in high school doing it, because that's what they, middle school, high school, they just learned that behavior from the adults. A lot of this behavior that children exhibit, they understand how to argue as children. They see mama arguing, they see aunties arguing, Grandmama, mama's arguing with the mama. That's the weirdest thing ever. So the children, even boys, young men today, they don't understand the hierarchy of life, and they argue with the boss. That can, you know what I'm saying? It's like a wasted energy that really defeats your whole project of life. When you argue, it takes away the greatest gifts that can be bestowed upon you because you're wasting energy. You should never argue. Get your point across, but if you get to a point where you just constantly going back and forth about rhetoric and it can't really move your life forward, and then you leave it, and then you bring your ass back to it the next day, you're going to stay stuck in it.
Yeah,
because after a while, you can get bitter about this shit.
Right,
No,
that's a bicker too.
but what I'm
That's
saying
the
is,
argument of bicker.
there's no way, JT. Me and you talk, we go back and forth. You know, sometimes we agree, sometimes we don't. But if we get to a place where we have to argue every day just because you looking at my ugly self,
Just challenging each other
what
all
I'm
the
saying
time.
is,
Yeah.
as a man, even as women, you have to understand that energy and get away from it. You have to sort of get away. It's the only way you can grow. Because you'll start taking all that. Everybody look like you, JT, I'm gonna be arguing with their ass. Oh man, he remind me of this. He said this. Somebody else.
He said it so right. His dialect sounds
Holding
like
grudges. It hurts. It hurts your growth.
I can't
Listen,
stand no
no.
Detroit niggas.
That's what I'm saying. So you can't do this. And women, y'all hold it. Y'all, it hurts y'all the most because it affects everything about what you're trying to do. It spills down to your children. Your children go to school fighting, can't concentrate. You ain't cooking them a well-balanced meal or whatever. You got so much pride, you won't even give the son to the father. If you want to change your life, ladies, if you got a young boy, 8, 9, 10, and you see your ex-baby daddy here off there working, finally got his little job doing this shit, showing up, and he come up there looking good, and he wearing his pants up over his booty now. You got him some soft walker shoes and wearing button-down shirts. Get that damn baby to that man and say, man, raise your son better than me. Because I'm a mother, I can't. And then teach your daughters to be respectful. Don't be buying no more booty shorts or breast shirts for nobody under 17, 18 years old. The hell with that shit. You can dress as 304 that you want, but your daughter looking at you. That's all I'm saying.
Options. Yeah, women have so many options, man. It's just crazy. I done seen women, I'm talking about, that dress really respectful, right? And I'm like, damn, they got a lot of options. Like if you actually look at men, the only thing we have options in is shoes. But other than that, we've got pants and shirt. Long sleeve, short sleeve. Wife beater up under it, full t-shirt up under it. We ain't got a whole lot, and we don't. That's why I don't like when I. Yeah, no, well, now it ain't no option to me. I'm not.
You're over 35 and you sagging, you're still a boy.
Nasty. It feels sloppy. That's one of the things too with men.
It looks sloppy.
If that man is a sloppy dresser, listen, I ain't got no problem with women being picky. I swear to God, I don't care if the woman say, listen, that man at least got to be making on the economy. If I'm out here dating this man, he got to be taking care of himself well. I don't have a problem with women saying that. I don't have a problem with women saying if this man is working at 50 years old at Chick-fil-A and he ain't a manager, I can't be with him. I can't get that. I don't have a problem with women. Women should be picky. Like women should be pickier than men. It should be at the point where women sit back and say, listen, I don't see you being my son's or my unborn daughter's dad. Therefore, as much as I wanted to give it to you, you can't get this pussy because you don't qualify to be my child's
JT,
father.
I tell them so I don't hurt their feelings.
You good, you cool, but you can't do it. We can go to the, because what you do is, what you just did right there is you repelled the sucker. That's sucker repellent. We've been talking for 2 days and I know you because I see it in your eyes, man. But the truth is, can't see you being my child's father. And as much as I wanted to get this pussy to you,
Nah, JT.
Just can't do it. And
No,
the reason
man.
why I can't do
No.
it is because
Grace, may-
I don't
may I- may I
want to
respond, please?
listen.
Oh
Listen to
man,
me.
y'all. You
Sure,
open up
sure.
the-
Best got next, okay, JT?
Yeah, I'm about to end it. I cannot see my child being up under the tutelage of you.
of that
Fuck
bitch.
me, I like you.
Yep.
I like you. You a good guy. But you
Yeah.
don't make the cut. You can't. We could go on a date. I can't get it, pussy.
So you
Can't
said we
give
should
it
go
to
out
ya.
and you saying we should go up and wet
You
up
don't
the
make the
retarded
cut.
chicks, ignorant chicks. Trust me, man. Out of the stuff we talked about today, and you would say that women should be more picky than men. I want to argue the opposite point. Men should be more picky than women because he gonna have to suck her titties or whatever and listen
Well,
to
we
her
failed
heart.
at that. We failed at the pickiness. We failed at it. We
Cause y'all just go for looks. Y'all go for looks.
No,
I don't
we're
go
going
for looks.
convenience.
No.
It's not
May-
the looks.
may I-
We're
may I
going for
respond?
convenience.
See, I got this
If I can get
legendary
it,
pull-out
I'm
move.
gonna get it.
I got this
may I
PA,
respond?
let Best chime in, Papa. Let Best chime in for a second. Go ahead, Best.
I think we just gotta get up the habit, man, of telling people who get up every day. You know what I mean? Put on their trousers, put on whatever they gotta put on, dress or whatever they put on, their shoes, whatever. Go out there and work. You know what I mean? And bust their ass day in and day out to make sure they have a living. If they can't be with somebody or they're not qualified, you gotta get out of that, man. You gotta get out of that because not everybody's gonna be an owner. Not everybody's gonna be a boss. Certain people are gonna be that. Certain people are going to get us criteria, but some people are gonna work. Some people are gonna be the workers. You know what I mean? And that's just what it is. You know what I mean? It'll be nice for everybody to have ownership of everything, but that's just not reality. You know what I'm saying? It's not reality. We're all not gonna own something. It's not reality. You know what I mean? Now we can partake and be a part of a community that owns something, right? So if we are part of a community, we all put our chips together, we all put our things together, and we actually try to, own things together, which is what a lot of communities and cultures do. They work together, they own stuff. So you may have, let's say you have a Mexican family, right? You'll have Melissa working at Taco Bell. You'll have Jorge working at Target. You'll have the father working as a mechanic. The mother does, retail at Walmart. So they all are working, but when they come home, they all come together and they're trying to build something. They're building a legacy. They're building a family. You know what I mean? And then together, collectively, they can own something. You know what I mean? So I think that, we have to work more into building family and building collectively as a whole, as a unit. You know what I'm saying? Now, as far as choosing somebody, I think we need to choose people who basically are trying to really be in our lives and really trying to help us to grow, really trying to love us, and who really do love us. You know what I'm saying? Because love is an action. It's not just a word, it's an action. You know what I mean? And the love somebody has for you is enough if they truly love you. You know what I'm saying? If they don't truly love you, they're not going to manifest anything. They're not going to build anything with you. They're not going to be there for you. They're not going to help you. They're not going to provide. They're not going to build family. They're not going to build legacy. They're not going to build up your family or nothing like that. All that is not going to be built because they don't love and care about you. Straight up. If somebody genuinely says they love you, it's going to show in their actions. It's going to show in what they do. It's going to show in how they manifest the different things in your life and in their life to build family and legacy. You know what I mean? And I think that's what we need to really strive for. You know what I'm saying? Because somebody may not have the gifts and talents that I have. You know what I mean? I've always been on the honor roll as a kid. It's always been natural for me. You know what I mean? But there's family members they don't have that talent that I have. They just don't. You know what I mean? They never will. You know what I'm saying? Or there's some who are more athletic. I have a brother who's a super athlete. You know what I mean? He's great at any sport that he plays. I'm not a super athlete. But when it comes to this technology shit, I could bust his ass. He ain't seen me when it comes to the technology thing. I can't see him when it comes to the athletics. You know what I'm saying? And so, you know what I mean? We all have our level of greatness, but what can we bring together collectively in order to build family and have healthy relationships? I think that is the biggest thing. I think that's what we're missing nowadays. You know what I mean? And I think on top of that too, we got to start holding adults accountable for being adults, right? I'm not letting women off the hook, just like I'm not letting men off the hook. If you are a living, breathing adult, and you say that you're an adult, you need to act like an adult. If you're bringing children into this world, you need to take care of them. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. You know what I mean? My grandmother raised just not her 2 kids, but she raised 3 grandkids as well. You know what I mean? Well, my grandfather worked and he retired from the railroad, but she also helped to raise those kids, and my mother helped to raise us as well. So, you know what I mean? There was no, I've never seen no weak women. I've never seen women who let the values and all that fall apart. Nah, they upheld the mantle just as long as well as the men. You know what I mean? But it was about building family. It was about building a unit. You know what I mean? It was about upholding a standard. You know what I'm saying? And we got to get, and that's what we really got to get back to. You know what I'm saying? So, you know what I mean? That's my experience. I ain't never seen, you know what I mean, no weak women or weak single mom. I ain't never seen that. My mom was single mom. I ain't never seen that. You know what I mean? My mother held it down. You know what I mean? It still does to this day. And so did her mother, which is my grandmother. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I grew up seeing. You know what I mean? I grew up seeing hardworking men and women who were building family, and they was not gonna let nothing get in the way of that. You know what I mean? So that's what we got to get back to.
The only thing I was saying about that though is there's no getting back to nothing. People get old and they die, and new people come into earth. At the end of the day, love is subjective. Because if it wasn't, then you wouldn't have a weak society. Right now, we have a weak society. And the reason being is because family and community starts with a woman, a man, and children. You got to start from that. So when the thing is the message is for the younger folks. They got to start with, men and women got to start liking each other so they can have sex and be married while they're having sex to have children. Then they would take what they know and learned and instill it in their children. For who? The grandchildren. You can't sit there and think that you're going to have some grown ass, old ass, 39, 40-year-old people saying, well, let's get the community back together and you do this and you do that. It don't work like that with grown people. What it works with is children, because guess what you can do? You can condition them and you can mold them into where they need to go. Mm-hmm. That's where it comes now. That you can't start from being adults. That's not gonna work. It failed. At the end of the day, you should be more picky about who you are with. If you are a woman and you need a man for guidance, guess what you're gonna do? You're gonna seek a man with guidance. Guess how you do it? With the men that are already in your family, to help you understand the type of man you need. There are weak men and there are weak women in this economy we're in. Very weak. Mm-hmm. You can see it in the children.
Yep. I totally agree.
That whole thing of you love who you love, that's some bullshit. It's always been some bullshit. No. You get who can be conducive in your life. As a man, you would go out and you would court a woman, not just date a woman. You would court her for marriage. Why? Because you're going to be responsible for her and your children together. When you have that ideal, you ain't gonna never say, well, why the women, why you get this now? No, because you're responsible for all this shit, man. Did I say anything that was wrong with that?
I have
I'm saying
for the most part, you're correct. You're correct. I have some pushback, but for the most part, yes.
Yeah, I'll say this, right? I'll say this. Listen, you know what I mean? I think everybody has weaknesses and strengths. You know what I mean? So we have to find what somebody's weak in and what they're strong in. You know what I mean? So not everybody's gonna be strong in everything. So some people are gonna be strong in one area and in another. But how can we use that person who has those strengths? How can we use those strengths in order to benefit the society as a whole, or if we are really trying to manifest a community or whatever else we're trying to manifest, right? So that's one. Secondly, you know what I'm saying? I would say if you want to build community, You know what I'm saying? There are certain things you can take from the past, but there's also new things you can take too, because we do live in a modern society. So of course we want to use the modern things that we know or that we have in our realm in order to make things better. You know what I'm saying? So of course, whether it's technology or different things that we can improve or different new information that we have, of course we're going to use that in order to better, our society, just better our homes and things of that nature. And then lastly, most people that are successful, are vastly successful, didn't get any success until they was in their 40s, 50s, and 60s. If you look at the research, it's there. Most really, really successful people, you can say celebrities or whoever else, they didn't get it until they was older. They didn't get it when they was in their 20s and 30s. That's a new fad. That's through the technology. That ain't no real thing. Now we see it more and more now because we have technology and different things of that nature. But most real successful people ain't get it till they was older.
That's not true.
You just look at the facts on that. You know
That's not true. That is not true.
It is
probably
true.
Financially successful, but no, you are successful through the process. You are successful through the process.
It takes a process. But what I'm saying, brother, is this, right? Because your argument was if somebody's over 40, 50 or whatever, just let them straight. But what I'm saying is that no, if there's somebody who is an older person and they can actually manifest something, no matter what age, because I'm not gonna do the ageism thing. I'm out of that. I don't do the ageism thing. I don't do the gender thing. I don't give a fuck about that, right? What I care about, literally, is who want to put the work in at whatever age they could be. It could be Uncle Ferg. It could be my sister at the bottom right here. It could be Grace. It could be anybody who want to put the work in. I don't care if you're a teenager. I don't care if you're in your 20s. I don't care if you're middle age. I don't care if you're senior. Who want to put the work in? You want to put the work in? We can make the work. Let's make it work. I'm in New York. I'm a hustler. Let's work. You know what I mean? But if you don't want to put the work in and you don't want to do it, then that'll be an issue. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? And then I'm gonna ask you, why you don't want to put the work in? I'm gonna try to figure out why you don't want to put the work in. I'm gonna still keep moving though. I'm not gonna stop what I'm doing, right? But I will ask you, what's going on? Why you don't put the work in? You see the plan, you see what we're doing. Let's get it popping. Now the ball is in your court because I already showed you the tools and all that. You know what I mean? So that's just what it is.
Do you believe the family is
nowadays
important?
due to technology, anybody can get it popping. You got somebody who's Trey.
No, I'm trying to figure out, bro.
Age. Hold on, let me finish. You have somebody that's Trey Ferg age that makes a song. That song goes viral, and now they $1 million.
What?
Now they everywhere. Now they on commercials. Now they everywhere.
The probabilities. Listen. Anything can be possible, but we can't We can't live life on a balance of possibilities. That shit is failure. It has to be on a balance of probabilities. No, when you are in your 50s and you ain't did shit all your fucking life, the chances of you not being able to do anything all your fucking life is gonna be higher than it is not. Ain't no 50-year-old rappers that have just got started out being a rapper, just getting out there making a hit. That ain't how that shit works. 50-year-old rappers been rapping for about 30 years. That's how it go. It is a process, and you have to eliminate the chances of failure by mitigation. Again, if we're talking about family, you can't start from the middle. You can't start from the end. You have to start from a beginning. And you start with your children. You don't start with your goddamn cousins. Everybody got a story when they try to start some shit like a business with their old ass fucking cousin. Guess what happened? He ain't business savvy, ain't none of that shit. Somebody done stole some damn money, all kind of shit come up. But when you start with your children, brother, that's not everybody's experience. I'm telling you on a balance of probability. I never say all, and I never say none. We're talking about a balance of probabilities. It's always about, okay, so if we're dealing with that, right, when we're dealing with that, I'm talking about the rule, not the exception. Not the exception. And I damn sure don't talk about all. What I'm telling you is through observation.
Right. But here's the thing though. There is no exception to any rule if a man and a woman do not put in the work as early as possible.
Yes.
I don't give a damn what you say on anybody's
side. You can't
side.
get around it.
But what I'm saying is, when it comes to Soapbox's point, you have to be willing to put in the work. There's no exception to the rules of life. Some of us try to make it, yeah, but no, you still have to go. Men have to go through men's life in the capacity where they're building themselves, and it goes beyond the money, because I don't chase the money.
Right.
Do you chase money? Most people I know chase money. They stay poor for the most, especially black folk. They chasing shit. They always behind the fucking opportunity. And then when the opportunities are, no man, I don't know, I can't, something might happen. Talk themselves right out of that shit. So when you in this space and you want to change it, you have to put in the work. Now, if you still 50 years old with gray hairs and shit, talking about you want to be a rapper, you're a fool. You still a fool. So still a boy thinking that way. But on that journey up into that point,
What you gonna rap about? Diversifying your portfolio?
what I'm saying is, you ain't got a portfolio if you're trying to rap. It's simple and plain. I don't know no rappers today. But what I'm saying is, you're young, you're in a space, whether you're a single man or single woman, the worst thing you can do is focus on other people looking at you.
Oh yeah.
The worst thing. So you build yourself regardless of what it is. Take money out of it. Learn how to fucking sew. Learn how to learn how to do. It comes down to working with your hands. We talk
Get a
a lot.
trade.
Yeah, but not only that. Look, YouTube offers spaces, and y'all see it in some capacity where you can reinvent yourself in any capacity. Look, ladies, start showing the man that you know how to cook. But hey, look, and stop trying to tell everybody everything. Write your ass down a list of shit. So when you meet a man or woman, read this list. If you can follow that list, we good. If not, don't call me, don't text me, don't DM me, because I don't want to waste time. We waste too much time. If you got children, single children, focus on your children. Forget the relationship. Y'all ain't doing nothing but having sex anyway. You ain't trying to build nothing. Just focus on your children. Teach your children not to live the life that you live. Don't say man ain't shit, women ain't shit. Baby, this is how we gonna do it.
Yeah.
You don't got to know about you having your booty out until they old enough. They don't need to know how somebody treated you till they damn near ready to leave the house. That happened to you. I didn't experience that because you love me, mama and daddy. If anything happened to you, I'm gonna take care of you. Not like I can't fucking wait to get up out of this goddamn house. My baby, you 40 years old, man. My cousins, how old was you? I was 9. What the hell? That's child's play. We got bigger fish to fry than each other. You better worry about other people coming in and moving in your neighborhoods, moving you out of your fancy apartment, making you lose your six-figure job, making you lose the little stuff you bought. You gotta just work on like something. Really, everybody should be working on themselves at some point. If you want different, you focus on self. Be selfish as hell. Be selfish.
But
be
that's
fair.
what I'm saying. That
But
my
be
whole
fair
thing is
about
that
My biggest equalizer to this, right? What you're saying is what we have right here. Technology, what we're doing right now, right? So somebody could be on this thing. On the sugar sheet. All right, somebody could be on this thing for 10 years, right? They can never ever have anything happen with them on YouTube, right? And they could been doing this thing for 10 years, and they only have 1,000 subscribers, right? Now we've seen it, yeah. Somebody be on here for a month and they go viral. Now they're the biggest sensation in the world. You know what I'm saying? So it just depends on, you know what I mean? It just depends on if it's gonna pop or not, or if you're gonna try. You know what I mean? Or I seen this lady. She was an older lady. It was a cooking auntie. I don't know if she's still around or whatever, but I used to see her a lot. This older lady, she just would always come up with these viral videos. She would cook, show all these old recipes. She was an older woman, and I would see this all the time on the internet.
Auntie Fee.
On the internet, just cooking little family recipes. You know what I
You
mean?
talking about Fee? You talking about Aunt Fee? You talking about Aunt Fee? Black lady?
I'm sure I'm family. My bad.
Shout out to Auntie Fee
We
too.
can hear you.
It's a real one.
Yeah, she died. What was that? 6 years ago?
Yeah, but my point just is this: that like at the end of the day, you know what I mean? Because we have technology, know what I mean? If you want to make something happen, no matter what age you are, you can make it happen. You know what I'm saying? It just depends on if you want to make it happen or not. You know what I mean? Because the worst thing you can do is that not trying, and you never know what can happen from there.
That's true.
You know what I'm saying? So that's the biggest thing. Just put yourself out there, straight up.
I agree. But technology is different, man. Trust me. I have degrees in computer science, so it's not for everybody. It's not for everybody.
That's what's up.
Yeah, I don't even think it's for me. I just stuck in there. I was just like, look, I ain't going back home to Port Arthur, Texas. I'm gonna have to pick up some keys until I do something. You know what I'm saying? So, but that was years ago, man. Anyway. Yeah.
We gotta find you a good woman, PA.
Man, I don't need no.
You don't want none. He's scared of them. He's scared of women.
Yeah.
He's scared right now.
Don't be scared.
I just
He's
need a
scared of
good
them.
woman, man, because I'm
Don't
gonna
be
tell
scared.
you what I need a good woman for. All I need is an available woman, which is hard.
Here we go.
And he needs to be open to me more than 3-4 times a week. And she needs to just not ask me for too many things, because I'm not gonna sit up there.
No, you ain't never experienced a good woman, though.
Because I'm not no trick. I ain't finna
That's
give
it,
her
JQ.
shit. I
That's
got
it.
millions. I got a lot of money in my account. And I ain't finna give her.
There you go. There you go.
Don't lead with your money. Then you wonder why women love you.
You ain't
You
never.
go. I
Don't
got money.
lead with the money.
I'm not
never
following
experienced a
or
good woman,
leading
bro.
with it. I'm not
Let me
following
tell
or
you.
leading with it. No, you can't have it. That's my
I
money.
think that's what
And
this is.
then that's my and I wanted to.
I
I want
actually-
to go back to a point. I want to go back to a point real quick about because I come from a family where my mother left me millions of dollars of her inheritance, which she's still alive, which I don't know why she kicked that over to me, but that's neither here nor there.
Shout out to moms.
Yeah, shout out to mom. And so sometimes, and my dad, he had certain things and stuff, but something else happened.
Shout out to dad.
But like ladies, sometimes, man, it ain't all that you can just be like, oh man, we need the man to sit up and build a family. Man, mama come in with a whole lot of stuff attached to her belt, and somebody got to handle that, because my mom's getting older, and I hope she's here for another 30, 40, 50 years, but it's highly unlikely. You know what I'm saying? Because she'll be the oldest person on the planet. And you know what I'm saying? Now, so ladies bring in certain things, and I just want to, and now that's not the rule. That's not the rule. Usually ladies come in busted, broke, and disgusted. But sometimes they come in with a lot of things that really need to be handled. And I'm going to tell you, she picked her oldest son, which happened to be me. So like, look, you're going to have to take over the reins of this shit. Because, I'm too old to do it myself. And my brother is sitting over there with spaghetti in his head, and I need to get my boy, he ain't even had children. He spent the 80s chasing gremlins and leprechauns. And so now everything that my ancestors have left from, it's pretty much, I don't know, I already put it, it's all in your name. So hold it down and good luck, son. Right,
Yeah. You have a son? You have a son, my brother? You have a son?
Yeah, I do have
Are
a
you
son.
Let me ask you this question. You said you're leaving the stuff to him, and based off what I heard, you got spoiled a little bit. So with that, listen, are you teaching your son how to live in this modern world based off your legacy, like what you already have? Are you teaching him how to navigate women, not hold grudges against women, but look for a wife early?
The
not
answer
just
to
be
that-
out here in the field tricking his money off.
The answer to that is no, and there's a good answer to that, because when people remember we were talking about women should give sons to their fathers as young. She only did that. She only did that when he was 3, and he would go back home crying because when he was 3, I don't punish a 3-year-old. He's 3.
How old is he now?
He's 16. Now,
Do you have that same type of, is he coming to see you now for that good father information? Because 16-year-olds need a man with some balls to teach him how to be a man.
Yeah, but he's in the phone. I need to touch him.
You text him? Yeah,
No,
but still, y'all can hang out. Show him how to wear your Kango. He wear Kangos and shades. Show him how to do it.
Now he got a whole different swag, man. He got a whole different swag. That's minor. That's minor. He got a whole different swag. That's minor. That's minor. But no, I need to touch him because I don't care about his clothes. I don't care about that. I need to touch him so that I can. And I'm already touching him, but his mom is hanging on for them last couple of years, and I'm gonna just wait that shit out. And matter of fact, it's one more year. He's finna be 17 quickly, but I'm gonna wait that out. Yeah, he's still in school.
Is he good in school? You're a good student.
Yeah. He's similar to my family.
Well, that's smartness, man. He got you in him. That's greatness right there. If he's a smart dude, do he look good? Is he handsome?
He looks like me. Yeah.
Okay. So, is he handsome though? I don't know if you look good. I can't say. I don't know. Do you have the confidence in yourself? Is he handsome?
Well, I have no problem pulling.
Is he handsome, man? Just say yes or no.
I would say I'm not gonna say a man's handsome, even if that's my
son.
You say
that's your son.
That's your
son. That's your son.
He get chicks. Is that good enough?
Even if he wasn't your son,
me to kiss him since he was a baby.
But even if he wasn't your son, brother, we ain't that damn. If you confidence in your sexuality, there's nothing wrong with saying another man is attractive. You be like, damn, the women be on him.
To who? To me?
But he's a kid though, brother. Hold up, it's a kid.
The only way I can say that is because I see women around him, they trying to kiss him on his lips and ride this car.
You can lie to yourself if you want to, bro. We are all human beings right here. You know what an asymmetric is.
So I was
you know what an ugly motherfucker is? Shit, we all know Beetlejuice is ugly as hell. We all know that goddamn Flavor Flav is ugly as hell.
Man, he got bitch. Bro.
No, man.
What I'm saying is this: it's nothing. It should not be a problem with a man saying that that's an attractive guy right there.
I haven't heard anything like this since
you said in your head.
You woke up.
There ain't never been a dude that sat back and said Denzel Washington was an ugly motherfucker, but he got a woman.
I had to deal with something in the back. That's why.
I don't know if he's attractive though.
What'd you say?
I said I haven't heard anything like this since middle school.
Right.
Like
grown ass man. Ain't nothing gay about saying you can say a car is attractive, you can say a dog is cute, you can say, and you can't just sit back and be like, yeah, doobie, because we already know we got our ways on how we say it. But when you say
my son is handsome as hell, he look like his damn bitches.
I know what it is. It ain't just got good shoes.
I don't see what him do with that bar back does when girls faint and give them drinks. I ain't seen that.
Deep, the gift of gab.
I don't know if he necessarily has the gift of gab, but girls be like, the girls want to kiss
your son. You don't know if your son is handsome.
Everybody in my family gets girls. So,
I didn't say if he gets girls. I said, is he handsome?
What the fuck? I mean,
yes or no? Yes or no?
You can say that. That's a seed.
Well, it's not no. It's
seed. Well, listen.
My son is handsome.
Hey guys, I gotta go. I got a lot of things to do, so I appreciate it. I'm loving the conversation. I can come back in another time earlier.
I've been trying to do final thoughts, but the conversation gets better and better.
I was busy doing the whole thing. I'm like,
it's your son. Just say my son is handsome.
Can the lady speak on this?
I don't know if he's handsome or not.
Let the lady speak on this, because brother,
I'm not gonna put a picture of my son on this damn screen. I mean, I would, but
you don't need to do that. You don't need to do that.
You know if your son is handsome or not. You know.
I don't.
He's a hater.
I don't.
He's a hater. He's a hater. He's a hater.
What does your son do with being a woman? But no, I was saying that I haven't heard nothing like this since middle school when I was dealing with other kids. You know, like they saw a picture of my brother And
Right.
he's my half brother. I'm just saying that in retrospect that he's not. He's what my cousin, what our cousin say is he's a Blaxican. He's a but they were like, oh, he's cute. I was like, yeah, he's cute. You said you said your brother's cute. Yeah, he's my brother. I'm not blind. Like,
you're a woman.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I thought
But you're a woman.
I don't understand the problem. I don't
know,
understand the
you're a
problem.
woman.
If I was a dude, I would say the same thing.
No, you don't. I don't think no dude is cute.
Bruh,
Period.
my
Not even
father
myself.
was handsome. He had good eyes. I'm handsome. My son's handsome. That's how we go down over here, baby. It's in the genes. It's in the blood over here.
My father had
we
green
handsome.
eyes. My father had green eyes, and he looked like a goddamn snake every time I looked at him.
So how would your father would have said you was handsome and cute when you was a 16-year-old?
And he been long dead, but I would like to ask him that question. You know what I mean? But I don't know. I would assume just because of.
Would your mother say you was handsome? Would your mother say you was
always
handsome?
says I'm handsome, but she's a female. You know what I'm saying?
But no, because some mothers know they got ugly ass kids for real. They know that.
That don't mean shit. I didn't see none of ugly people.
Right.
I got ugly family members.
I don't think my son has a problem. So if you want to say that's handsome, then yeah, he's handsome or whatever. I don't know. I'm sure he doesn't have no problem with women. He ain't deformed or nothing like that. He's an all-star. He's an all-star football player in the Texas area. So.
Oh, cool. Does he talk about women like you in the same mindset?
Not yet.
Damn woman. Not yet. You can't put that on him, man. Don't put that on that young man.
No, but I'm going to give him. I'm going to speak on him on all of my experiences, man.
Man, you can't put that experience on him. Let him live his own experience about you. Just guide him on how not to get tricked in the game. That's what you can't say.
Right.
Women are like this because you're not going to date the young women that he's dating. You're going to be a father, grandfather to them. You got to let him see it. Say, son, you're not going to get tricked. I'm going to show you the signs when it's time to get tricked.
Good women.
You know how I'm going to teach him? I'm going to tell him the story of how I got tricked.
No, you can't do that. No,
Wait.
you can't tell him your story.
Is this dude glowing in the dark? Like what? That black light, man, that's revealing a lot.
Oh, you talking about my setup? Yeah. I got a few lights here. I got a bunch of cameras, a bunch of screens. Yeah.
How you guys
doing? You think you handsome too? You think you look good too?
Now I think
damn son look good too.
I bet you do. You have no problem answering that.
Right.
Yeah. I think I look good.
Of course you do.
Sometimes.
Yeah, so selfish ass, man. No selfish.
Yeah. Now sometimes I got a little pot belly because all I do is drink, talk shit, and steal money. But that's just my.
Do you steal car stereos?
Say again.
Do you steal car stereos?
You still can.
No. Can you steal a car stereo? Because I look at
it took you too long to answer.
How you get into that?
It took you too long to answer.
In one of my cars, the stereo's built in the dashboard. Both of them actually. Both of my cars, the stereo's built in the dashboard.
That ain't stopping me.
My son car, I just bought him. I bought him one of these luxury. I don't want to call him.
Your son has a car. We don't care about the being luxury. As long as he takes care. Teach him how to check the oil. Teach him how to check the oil in the car. Check the brake fluid. How to change the tire. Teach him all that good man shit.
Well, no, I bought him an electric vehicle. They don't have any oil in their car.
So, electric vehicle.
Yeah, I bought him a electric vehicle.
Electric vehicle, man. You know how much? Oh my God, it costs more to keep.
A 17-year-old, you bought him that kind of car?
Yeah.
Why not a hybrid?
Look, man, stop counting my pockets.
Did you count your pockets?
You telling us about your pockets?
Right.
Now the electric vehicle has an iPad looking thing at the front. You can yank that out of there. Now that's still in the car stereo. But my car, you can't kill the car stereo. That's all I'm gonna say about that.
Hi, Jedi.
Yeah, I got the money to buy it. So what?
Damn.
So what? You know what I'm saying? So what?
Sorry,
What I'm supposed to
my
do?
mic.
Not get it? So what? My mic is muted.
Okay.
I bought him a car. So what?
Okay.
Well, maybe now we can get into our final thoughts. You know, it's only been about an hour I've been trying to get to it, but that's okay. That means we're having some good conversation. And Baz, I finally connected the dots. I'm like, I've talked to her. Sir Harold Speaks Sunday nights, right?
Yeah.
It's been a minute, Ma. I'm like,
Yeah.
wait a second.
I haven't seen her in a minute. So good to see you.
Right? It's like you've been MIA for real, for real.
Yeah, shout
Hell
out to
no.
All right, so we're gonna go around the panel. We had a great conversation tonight. We talked about effectively arguing, things that happen, things that we do, things that we can do better. Y'all know all the fuck shit y'all do when you argue with people. You know, all I'm saying is acknowledge them and do better, because it's not worth it. Life is too short. This is not my final thoughts. I'm just setting it up for y'all because I write everything down. So with that being said, Unc, are you there, or did you go take a break real quick? Okay, he's not there. Okay, JT, let's go, hon. You've been here since it really started. You've been riding it out with me for 4 hours. What do you have to say about the whole conversation? Everything, PA, everything. What do you have to say?
Oh man, we had a great conversation. What's going on, Mike? What's
What's going on?
poppin' with you, man?
Come on, man.
I'm seeing this. Before I start, let me say it. I've been seeing this brother right here. He is. I'm looking at your content too, bro. Love what you're
Thank
doing, man.
Thank you, man.
Most definitely.
Appreciate it. Appreciate
Love
it.
what you're doing.
Thank
This
you.
brother has, like, it feel like he was the young dude that's growing up to be this wise man, bro. I'm just, damn, I'm proud of you, bro.
Maturing.
Appreciate
Man,
it.
I'm telling you, we done had conversations, hours of conversations, man. And I love what you're doing, brother. Keep doing
Thank
what you're doing, bro. Most
Appreciate it.
definitely.
Appreciate it, man.
Absolutely. So, yeah, when it comes down to pretty much when we're talking about, and I like what you said, embracing arguments effectively, right? A lot of these things that we go through, we have to look at them as lessons, right? We cannot act like we're not human beings. We get angry, mad, sad, we get happy, you know, and all of these emotions that we have. The key is to understand how to manage it, right? How to embrace it, and then learn how to manage it. Learn from all of our mistakes that we made so we don't keep making them, right? Sometimes you repeat sometimes, right? But if you are a person that just naturally want to be a better version of yourself each and every day, each and every hour, you're gonna figure this shit out. There's no way that you can't. No matter what your background entails, you might have to just work harder than other people. If you have, you know, a background that actually has did some damage, right? But this is about being a human being. This is what we doing on this earth. Trust me. All of the things, all the struggles we go through, when you get, if you are willing, if God is willing to let you get old, you're gonna be reflecting on those struggles and you're gonna be looking like, those were the good old days. Because there's a time where we ain't gonna be able to do none of this shit no more. If you argue, you're gonna have to figure it out while you're arguing. Your emotions are there. That's what we call red flags. Red flags are not something to have you to run. It's an indicator. That's what a red flag is. It's just like your oil light, check engine light. These are indicators to tell you that there's something that has to be done. It's not just get up and run. So even to my two brothers, PA and Soapbox, right, to their points. what we have to also understand is that when you love someone, you don't be loyal to their mishaps, right? You can't. You're a slave to their mishaps. If you got a person that is toxic in your life, beating on you, being abusive, all of these things, you may have to get out of their way, right? Get away from them, because that indicator came up. Alert, alert. You're gonna have to do something about it. But when you stand there and act like it didn't happen, guess what happens? It's gonna get worse, right? So it means that we have to do something. Doesn't mean that you always have to go. I think, and this is and I don't wanna make a big old conversation all over again, but I gotta say this. In all actuality, from the side of abuse, anything can be worked out. What we have to do is put our ego in check in a lot of instances. Sometimes we leave when we ain't supposed to be leaving. Sometimes we avoid when we're not supposed to avoid. And I think that's a big problem in what we have in society now. People are willing to give up too fast because of all of these indicators that's in it. Some of us, it's like our past is still right there waiting on us. So somebody can say something out of pocket to you, and then you get very sensitive to it, right? And instead of being willing to work it out, you run, you avoid, you do these things like that. And when you do those things, they'll mean that it ain't gonna come back up to you. Like, you got people that are serial daters, right? When the relationship goes sour, what do? They end it immediately. Then they go to the next person. You act like it ain't gonna come back up to you. No, that shit coming right back to your ass. Because relationships are not to save you. I've said this many a times. Relationships are to reveal all the bullshit that you've had endeavored in your life, whether you caused them or it was caused to you. That's what relationships are. It's a classroom. It's a university. And when the relationship is over, you just dropped out. The only way you win in relationships is if you die out of the relationship. That's when you win. So when you got a bunch of people that's dating each other and going on trips and eating and going to movies and shit like that, and there's not one time that they're gonna have the conversation on, let's become one, they're just avoiding them. That's what they're doing. They're avoiding. Arguments are not meant to avoid. Arguments are meant to reveal. The way that you do it is where we have the problem. I'm gonna end it right there, y'all.
That was good. That was some good stuff. Thank you, JT. I appreciate you. Oh, I think that name has stuck, sir. So you might as well just get used to it.
Uncle Trey. OG.
You know, it's funny that people say that and they refer that to me. When I was working with the youth, I always used to say, I can be your father or your uncle. And then some would say father, but then I have to explain the difference between uncle and father. As a father, as I engage with you and start talking to you about certain things, I'm expecting you to follow through on this shit. If I gotta show you, I have no problem walking you through the steps. And I'm talking to teenagers, able-minded body individuals looking for possibility. And once we have this conversation, when I follow back up in the week and I start checking with everything, because I'm calling mama, grandmama, uncle, I'll call your daddy in prison if I can get a contact, because I've done that before. I'm letting them know you are now a part of my family. I'm not going to allow them to work mediocre or give up on themselves. And I expect for you to help me. If not, I used to waste no time. Please get away from me. The children that will have that mindset, they will speak to me and they'll just go. I say, no, don't. I've told you, go and come back. They come back, I'm getting poems. And I'm going to tell you how within that social construct of the young man. I used to get songs wrote for me. People bake me fucking pound cakes because I let grandmas know I like pound cake. They used to show up with pound cake. And I used to be like, wow. So, you know, and somebody referenced to me like, why you all the kids always hanging around you? Because I'm talking to them with a realistic expectation and just open, being honest. So then the ones that would choose uncle, I'll say this. What I say to you and what we talk about, you can decide to do it or not. You're not my child. I'm not going to whoop you. I'm not going to yell at you, raise my voice at you. I'm just going to look at you. If once I follow up and you continuously, I'm not just going to follow up one time. I'm going to do this shit for a whole quarter, a whole semester. And when we come back to it, I'm going to show you your progress. And if you've given up, and after that, pretty much, I just look at you, nod my head. I'm going to always speak to you because I'm going to give you that respect. But I'm no longer fighting for you to be better than who you are. I take my hands off. I don't do no work around young folk. And I don't invest a lot of energy with a whole bunch of older folk, 25, 35, 45, who just complain about life and being in a better space, whether it comes to men or women. I've just always been like it since I was a kid. One of my best cousins died when I was 10. I feel like I ain't have no friends no more, even though I had a brother. So I would have friends all over. And that's how I've been now. And if you don't like me, not that I don't like you, I don't give you no more of my energy. My energy is too strong. And I don't want your bad, evil energy connecting to me. And I'm taking it into a relationship. I'm taking that shit at the job. I'm looking at my own kids, mad at them, don't know what. I don't live like that. I can't live like that. So even today, the fact that y'all say that, I'm still just trying to be that voice. Even if you don't like to hear my voice, I talk too much, whatever, live the life and come back and tell me the difference of where you are today. Because I've lived a lot of what I heard. And life is about who you make it at 23, 24, who you make it as a man or a woman. It's about your choices and decisions after that. If mama broke your heart, go have a conversation, take out to dinner, get away from a comfort zone. Bring somebody out who's unbiased, not somebody you've been telling, Mama hurt my feelings for 10 years. They're gonna look at your mom like, yeah, she hurt your feelings, didn't she? No, find somebody who's unbiased about that. And once you speak about it, then you have to let it go so you can start blossoming and growing for yourself. You have to let it go. Doesn't mean you have to forget it, but you can't own this shit every time. You gotta let it go so you can build and grow. We going into a new millennium and damn, we spend our time talking about hurt and pain. Ain't you tired of carrying that shit? That shit got to be hurtful. Let it go. Y'all beautiful black sisters, man, be beautiful. Beautiful black men, be beautiful. The hell, somebody say you ugly. I'm talking, so what? It's supposed to be. We all got the same big nose. If you ain't got a big nose and you black, put a 1 in the chat. If you ain't got fat feet and you black, fucking put a 1 in the chat. You ain't got big, super cooler lip, put a 1 in the chat. If you ain't light skin, dark skin, every other color complexion, put a 1 in the chat. Please let me know. We all are the same. We are different individuals, yes. Be the flower that you can be. So, you know, it's not hard, people. We should be able to build better than this. We need people to get together because we ain't gonna make it without that shit. Y'all can take that shit for granted if you want to. I don't give them for making $20 an hour. Y'all both can make $20 an hour. Because the children's future depend on that. And they ain't gonna have shit. Because understand, this is my last thing. Social Security pays this stuff forward. If everybody chooses not to go to work and think you can say and talk about a lot of shit, you better be talking to make an impact on not just on your life, the people around you. Because when you start looking like you better than them, they gonna come in and take everything you get. And what you
yep.
So it's the greatest. I'm telling you, the greatest asset you can do is you gotta Walking how Jesus walked. Judge nobody above you or below you. Seek knowledge for yourself, for understanding. Don't live for money. Do his goodness and the money will come. But you got to put in at least 25, 30 years of that shit. Can't wait till you get 45 and tell me I want to get out now. You're a black man. Don't worry about other black men. Worry about those in power. That's going to tell you, no, you don't qualify. So save yourself right now. That's all I got.
I hear you. I hear you. Thank you for all the gems, Unc. I appreciate all the support. I really, really do. All right, PA, it's on you now. You brought a lot of good conversation to tonight's show. You know, we derailed a little bit, but I just felt that comment was important. We got a lot of gems out of it. But go ahead and wrap up everything on your final thoughts on the conversation, everything. And don't lead with money.
Lead with money.
Don't lead. Don't lead with money.
I'm finna lead with an argument is with.
By the way, you could drop that Cash App since you love talking about your money. You could go ahead and embrace me with some of that.
Now you want to talk about money? So, I was gonna say an argument is pretty much, man, and this is in any dynamic, whether it's a country versus a country, a group of people versus a group of people, is when someone getting their feelings. That's when the argument starts. Because I mean, you could say anything to me, and if I ignore it, it's not going to be an argument. You know, but once somebody getting their feelings, then here goes the argument. Now, and on top of that chair stuff, he was right about that. I forgot. If I got to get in a chair and face you face to face and talk about something, I don't need to be with somebody. Nah, I'm good. You know, and if somebody getting in an argument with you in the first place, you probably don't need to be with them in the first place. But if you got to sit there chair to chair, face to face,
that's just only on important topics, not all the time.
Yeah, don't sit in the chair with my ignorant asses. I'm gonna pull out my Johnson and be like, okay, talk to this. You know what I mean? And then we're gonna make this argument go away. Make this argument go away. I'm not past forgiveness, but I'll make like that dude on Players Club. Do something to make me feel better. Right. Now, and this is what I know. Women are only loyal to their feelings, man. I'm just keep that a buck that I know. And now I can't talk about men because I don't deal with men except for my son. You know what I mean? And women, I don't even deal with my brothers anymore. That's another story. Women's heads are harder than hippo ass, man. So when you arguing with them, why you arguing with them? It ain't going through there. It ain't going through there. It's just like sitting there and talking to a hippo's ass. It ain't nothing gonna get.
Yeah, do you even like women? Do you even like women?
I like them a whole lot.
For one thing and one thing only, right?
A lot of things. Head, good, soft tits, smooth hair, soft voices. They smell good. You know. There's a lot of things I like about them. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of things I like about them. And then if you get lucky, some of them are smart. And when you procreate with them, your son's not gonna be an idiot, or your daughter's not gonna be an idiot. You know that's bonus. And then some of them, they do a lot of stuff, man. They do a lot of stuff. I go on and on, but I mean, but when you argue with them, the head is harder than hippo asses. That's all of them. You know what I mean? They not hearing none of that. They ain't trying to hear none of it. And especially if they Latino. I said it.
Hey, watch your mouth.
Yeah, I said it. They Latino. All they want to do is fight, slap, and all that. And all they gonna do.
You know I don't like to fight. I'm a lover, not a fighter. I don't know what you're talking about.
And I'm gonna tell you, with a Latino woman, I'm gonna tell you when the conversation's over and she ain't listening no more. When you say, motherfucker, that's it. It's a wrap. You know what I mean? Now, they're not gonna learn anything. And most women think they're smarter than every man. Ain't that pitiful? And that's all I gotta say. Arguing is
Thank you.
useless.
Thank you for your knowledge and your wisdom and the comedy, and you You bring all the flavor to the table. Okay? Don't, and on your way out, don't forget to drop that cash app. Anyway, Baz. It is such a pleasure to see you. Thank you for coming. I need more women on the panel. Yes, I know my channel advocates for men, but at the same time, I'm trying to get a woman's perspective as well. You know, especially of all different ages, you know, races and everything, because I don't want to just box it in. I talk about everything and everybody. So at the end of the day, I know you came in through halfway through. It was supposed to be the end of the show, but you ended up coming in halfway through the show. What did you have to say, and what are your final thoughts?
Well, first of all, I don't think I'm smarter than all men and stuff like that. I'm just smarter than the dumbasses.
Facts.
That is correct.
And you know, dumbasses come of all races, ages, and sizes, and genders, whatever. No, with fights, don't be petty. That's another thing that will keep a fight going. Keep that negative energy going. Is being petty. I'm like,
that's a good one.
And someone mentioned being biased. I'm not. I'm one of those people who I'm not biased. So when I saw my sister dealing with stuff, I would tell her, like, don't deal with that, right? But when I saw her being petty, it's like, you wrong for that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I would call her out too. So I'm calling out both parties from the things that I saw in the relationship. But yeah, I just, petty is just childish. I don't understand.
I like especially with somebody you say you love and care about.
Right. Like, why are you trying to compete and fight with someone you love and you're supposed to be in a relationship with? I just don't get it. You're treating this person like they're anyone else off the street.
Exactly.
Or worse. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, don't be petty. Grow up. Grow the hell up. If you can't stop being a petty person, you don't need to be in a relationship right now. You need to grow your ass up. And you should be debating. You shouldn't even be fighting. Like you said, Grace, embrace. Like you said earlier, you're upfront. I'm upfront too. Like when I'm starting to talk to somebody, we're not gonna curse each other during a debate. We're not gonna use curse words. You know what I'm saying? Like, and we're not gonna get physical. Those are my 3. We ain't doing it. And so once I've said this, if you try me, I'm leaving. And I'm done with you. Because I already told you. So yeah, like your standards and your and the things that you say that you're not gonna deal with, stand on it. I don't see the point of being with this person who doesn't respect you in that sense. If they can't respect the things that you don't want to deal with, why are you with that person anyway? Why are you holding on to drama?
Mm-hmm.
No, I'm not with it.
I hear you. Well, Baz, thank you again for coming. You're welcome here anytime. I really appreciate you. Jedi, are you there or are you just chilling?
No, I'm right here.
I mean, I know you came at the tail end of the show. I don't know how long you've been watching. I do appreciate you coming in, and it was nice meeting you. But if you have any final thoughts, this would be the best time to say it.
Yeah, well, so thank you for having me. Yeah, I did caught at the later end. Yeah, I just saw on some familiar faces. I have to say hello. But I will say this is that anybody who knows me knows that I'm 25 years old. I'm newly married. Going about 8 months strong now. But I would say that, again, with relationships, say something from my generation, that we have had a poor standard how we operate between our relationship with men and women. You know, we're in society right now with men not told to be themselves or to have any sense of purpose, foundation. And with that, lack of foundation for man leads to the destruction of the woman. And hence here we are. And unfortunately, we lack the value of each other. But more importantly, we lack the value of ourselves. And I feel like, as someone younger, that I've always set myself around being people that are older than me, getting to receive wisdom, and also kind of, get out of my own way. Definitely, as a man, pride can be easily, be tempting. But I know that definitely some people on this panel have definitely been a positive aspect of my life. My results, show for itself. And I would say that, if I'm, if it's me, then who's going to be next? Again, it's all about seeing the example, setting a standard. But more importantly, I'll also say that it's a choice to be angry, it's a choice to be combative in a relationship. But it's also a choice to forgive. It's a choice to actually, let go of unnecessary behavior or frustrations that are unnecessary, because again, we can get, mad over the smallest thing, and yet we try to give a permanent solution to a temporary problem. And that's been very self-destructive for a lot of people, especially of us as Black people. And I would just say again, there's the old phrase, you can be the captain of your fate or master your soul. But whatever type of spiritual belief you come from, God intended life to come from, and I ask you, that's how you got to respond.
Nice. Thank you very much for that. And again, it was a pleasure to meet you, and I'm definitely going to go sub up, because I stay connected with family that stay connected with me. So with that being said,
thank you.
Look, absolutely. Look, everybody argues. You argue with your mama, you argue with your daddy, you argue with your kids, you argue with people at work, you argue with your person you're involved with. But not everybody argues well. Not everybody argues respectfully or productively. Constructive arguing is something of an art form, and sometimes a good argument that's handled with respect, understanding, and respect will and improve relationships. And all I can say is that I hope that my embracers can embrace the gems that I have dropped, my colleagues have dropped, the people in the chat. It's not to win an argument. That's not the point of an argument. It's not the point to attack them personally. It's not the point to bring shit up in their face and use information that they've told you in confidence against them, but rather to reach a compromise and resolve conflict, a solution together. So with that being said, guys, I just want to... Yes, ma'am.
I forgot to mention respect cool off time, because some people get worked up real bad, and that's not the time to debate. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you need time to just cool off and then come in with logic, because anger isn't logical, nor is any other emotion. It's not logical. So yeah, cool off first.
I don't know if you heard me say this, but I have a habit of, if I'm involved with somebody, because I know how I can get, I use a code word, and usually it's red zone. I'm going in the red zone, and I want that person to respect that I'm getting to a point where I'm going to become unreasonable with you, and respect that.
Okay, right.
And I usually will go for a walk, go walk the dog, or if he leaves, I don't care if he leaves, but let me know that you're leaving, because a lot of guys like to leave and come back on purpose for hours just to piss us off and make it worse. Go leave and go get me an iced coffee or something to get, or something to eat or something, but don't leave to make the situation worse. But I'm just piggybacking on what you're saying. Cooling period is good. Go to your man cave. I go to my room. Or use a code word. Mm-hmm. Use a code word, and everybody just shuts the fuck up and goes and go back to your corners. Yeah. And I was saying, because I'm a sports chick, I use red zone, because guys understand that I'm going into the red zone. Either you're making me go into the red zone, or I'm allowing myself to go into the red zone. Either way, let's back off for a minute, and come back and regroup. So with that being said, guys, I just want to say once again, thank you for coming. It was a great conversation. Next week topic, I mean, Stanley already gave it to me. I've already been doing research. How learning to build with the person you're with. Then what's the point? What's the point? So that's going to be next week topic. So come back and join me. So like I always say, embrace yourself and embrace each other. Have a good night, guys. And I really appreciate you. Peace. Take care, guys.